He has to have it fixed. Do you have insurance?
I have insurance, but it's liability insurance.
She doesn't have collision insurance. That means you have to pay for it, sir. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. How much will it be to fix the car?
The estimate was $2,251.29.
And what kind of car is this?
It's a J30 Infiniti 1994.
So the car is 13 years old.
Yes, it's my only transportation.
Let me take a look at that. This isn't the kind of estimate that you usually get from a place.
That is from Tom's mobile mechanic. He just came over yesterday and estimated it because he had to come to my apartment because the car is undrivable.
Okay, so you have to fix the car.
Yes.
And he wants $2,251.29, and I think he'll do it for $2,000. Now, let's talk about the rent. You say he moved out owing you some money for rent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whose name is on the lease?
Both of us.
And tell me, under what circumstances did he move out?
He's supposed to pay me $400 each month.
Under what circumstances did he move out?
Owing me about...
No. Did you ask him to leave, or did he just leave?
Yes, Your Honor, I asked him to leave after I found out he was cheating on me.
So you asked him to leave?
Yes.
Okay. And he left?
Yes.
And in what month did he leave?
It was the middle of October.
Is that right, sir?
Yeah.
Did he pay October's rent?
Not all of it.
How much did he pay?
$50.
Did he give it to you directly?
Yes.
$50?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did he pay September's rent?
He paid half.
How much did he pay?
$200.
Now, Mr. Molina, you have a defense, and you say that you work, correct?
Yes. And the place I was working at, they were cutting my hours, and I was working like 21 to 26 hours, and every check that I would get, I would hand it over to her.
That's what you say.
And it was like $2-something, and I would have no money. Every week, I would just hand over my check, give it to her.
That's what he says. He says that every week he worked, he would hand you his check, and you would give him gas money. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor. He would hand me cash. His check was for $80. He kept $30 for gas, gave me $50. That was for October.
Okay, so how much did he give you for October? He worked every week in October, so he couldn't have given you just $50.
Your Honor, he doesn't give me every check. He says that he gives me every check. Sometimes he only works 20 hours a week.
Was he working more than that when you decided to lease an apartment with him?
We had both just gotten new jobs to get the apartment together, and it's not my fault he only works 20 hours a week. He could have got a different job or asked for more hours.
How much did you give her in September for the rent, sir?
None.
She says for September she got $200.
I thought you were talking about October, but September I gave her $200.
And in October?
I only gave her $50.
And what did she say when you gave her the $50?
She's like, where's the rest of it? I'm like, well, my hours are cut, you know? There's nothing I could do. I asked my manager, can I have more hours? You know, I have stuff to pay, this and that. And they didn't like me. They just cut my hours.
Ms. Cope, where were you living before you moved in with Mr. Molina and your two children?
I was living with my best friend.
And how much rent were you paying?
I wasn't having to pay rent.
How long did you live with your best friend?
For about a year and a half.
And what is the rent you are paying now?
$779 a month.
And how much child support do you receive?
I don't receive any child support.
Why not?
Because both of the fathers to my children, they were in prison, so.
They were what?
In prison, incarcerated.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a secretary for a law office.
What are your earnings?
$10 an hour.
How are you paying the rent?
I get welfare.
How much do you get from welfare?
$500.
$500 a month towards your rent?
Yes.
What else do they pay for?
They give me food stamps, about $300. That and my work is my only income.
So that your rent is really $279 a month?
Yeah, you can say that.
I am saying that.
Okay.
Your rent is $279 a month. So in the month of September, he gave you $200. So in September, your share of the rent was $79.
Yes. Well,
and in October, he gave you, according to you, $50. So that sort of evened it out. The government was paying most of the rent, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to stay in that apartment, is that correct?
Yes.
Good. Mr. Molina owes you to fix the car. The rent the government is paying for. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all. Thank you.
Your Honor, case number 409 on the calendar in the matter of Thompson versus Simmons.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
You must have been absent on the day that I told you never to co-sign on a car for anybody.
Yes, Your Honor. I think
Not a good day to be absent. In any event, you did, in fact, do that. You
Yes, I did.
co-signed on a car for Mr. Simmons while you were in a relationship. The relationship terminated, as most of these relationships do, and you repossessed the car. Mr. Simmons stopped, according to you, making payments on the car. You invested a lot in the car. You're stuck with those payments and those fees, and you want him to compensate you. Mr. Simmons says that you had a rather odd arrangement with regard to the car, and that was that as long as you were dating, you would make the payments on the car. That's what you said.
That's correct.
Right? And as soon as you stopped dating, he made the payments on the car, and you had no right to repossess the car. As a matter of fact, he was perfectly willing to put the car in his name and to assume all of the financial responsibility, and you chose to have the car towed to a secret location, preventing him from having access to what was really his vehicle. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's a first, Mr. Simmons, but I'm going to let you go there in a minute. How long were you and Mr. Simmons involved in a relationship before this car was purchased?
7 months.
7 months exclusively, 7 months living together, 7 months
7 months just exclusively dating.
Well, he just looked at you as if to say, maybe exclusive for you, honey, but not for me necessarily. That was the look. I'm just letting you know that that was the look. So after 7 months, would you let me share the circumstances surrounding purchasing this car from your perspective?
During the time that we dated, he frequently borrowed my car to drive about an hour, hour and a half to pick up his daughter for visitations every other weekend, because his vehicle was just not up for the drive. So when he approached me asking me to co-sign a loan for him to buy a new car, I looked at the fact that he had had a job for 7 years and kind of have a soft spot for dads that are devoted to their daughters. And I agreed to co-sign for the loan as long as I never had to spend a penny out of pocket for that car.
Is that what you said to him?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
And so tell me what you did.
So I co-signed the loan, and
Did you go shopping with him?
no, he had it all picked out. The only time I ever went to the dealership with him was when we went to sign the papers.
When he purchased it?
Correct.
And the car was purchased when?
The car was purchased at the end of September in 2006. First payment he made in November of 06,
And how much was the payment that he made in November?
$543.41.
And you have proof of that?
Oh, yes.
Good. Go ahead.
Then he was laid off from his job just weeks later, so it was about Thanksgiving 2006.
He was laid off?
Yes.
Did he have a conversation with you about being laid off?
Oh, sure.
What did he say?
No, he was fired because he was late for work too often. He kind of has a liking to staying up all night drinking and playing video games,
Okay, so he was laid off from this job that he had for 7 years, according to you.
according to him. I didn't check his employment record.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he's laid off. And what about December's payment?
He did not have the money for it, and I take great pride in my credit, so I said that I would make the payment at the due date and get the money to me as soon as he can.
And what did he say?
Absolutely. I'll get it to you as soon as I can.
What about January's payment?
Nope, same situation. He was still trying to find work. He was going to the temporary services, but it was so early in the morning, and he would be frustrated that they wouldn't have work
Was
for
he
him.
living with you?
Not at all, no.
What about February's payment?
By the beginning of February, he came to me with some cash. He had owed me still for a past phone bill. He'd often tell me he had money for me. And when it came time to bring the money to me, he would call and delay. And
In February, he brought you some cash. How
Yes, he
much?
did. $800 cash on February the 3rd.
And that was for the...
It was for money that he owed me. The cell
For?
phone. I was also paying the insurance on the car.
Listen, I'm not a bookkeeper. I want to know how much of that $800 was for the car.
$105.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Sure.
The plaintiff suggested that if I had any problems initially making any car payments, then to not worry about it, don't feel so stressed and obligated because she was aware of my other financial obligations.
Don't tell me what she was aware of.
These are facts, Your Honor.
You made the payment in November, sir. According to the plaintiff, is that the truth or a lie?
Payment in November?
Yes, she can say
No,
that she can
that
establish
is-
that,
that
you
is-
made the payment in November.
That's not correct.
Can I
made
see?
2 payments.
Can I see the November payment, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Payment in November, sir?
Not from my account.
Did you give her money?
I gave her money occasionally,
Okay.
yes, but not directly related to that
Okay.
November
Yeah.
payment.
Okay.
As she stated already, there are some phone bills and some things that she said that she would put in her account or put into her name so that I could maintain communication with her. And I told her that I would help her out occasionally when I had the finances to do that.
You were supposed to make the payments on this car, sir. According to you, you were supposed to make the payments on this car. And according to you, what you just said to me was she told you if you can't make the payments at some point, don't be so stressed, I'll cover them. That's what you started to tell me.
That's correct.
That's different from saying what you swore to in your answer, while we were dating, I'll make the payments. That's different. That's a whole different thing, Mr. Simmons. Do you get it? You can
back and forth from
listen. Don't tell me flip-flop. Flip-flop doesn't make a contract. Flip-flop doesn't make a deal. If what she said to you, which may be true, listen, I don't want you to be stressed. If you're short, I'll cover for you because, you know, you've been paying me for the other things. Don't be stressed. That I believe. What I didn't believe when I read your answer that you swore to, sir, was the following.
Yeah, following.
She told me she would pay the monthly payments on a new Toyota Camry as long as we were together. That, Mr. Simmons, I didn't believe. You know why I don't believe it? Because it doesn't sit well with my common sense. And based upon what you just told me, I was accurate. Because she never said, as long as we're dating, I'll make the monthly payments. She said, I don't want you to stress. That's what you say. If you're short, I'll help you.
That's correct.
That's a different thing, Mr. Simmons.
I find the two to be very similar.
Well, maybe that's why you're standing there and I'm sitting here. Did you ever think of that?
No.
Maybe that's why I am continuously employed and you are not.
Okay, well,
Mr.
I'm employed
Simmons.
now.
Well, that's wonderful. How old are you?
What does that have to do with anything?
I want to know how old you are. You have a child, you have a
38.
support order, and it's clear in December and January you weren't working. How could you not be working?
As she explained, my employment was terminated.
Well, so I just said to you, I'm continuously employed and you're not. And I don't have children that I have to support, thank God, anymore. If you said to me in your statement what you said to me just now, I would have believed you. I would have said, well, I could imagine a woman who's in love, you know, could just be that kind of sucker. You know, I want you to have a good car. If you're short on the money, I'll help you. But that's not what you said.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How were you seeing him at that point?
I wasn't.
He says that you were still in a relationship.
We weren't.
Must have been through the astrologer.
That was probably it.
And later today,
I'm asking you, what proof do you have, sir, that she took the box?
She was the only one with the key that day, Your Honor. Nobody else ever knew where that lockbox was. She's the only one down there ever.
Lisa Thompson says ex-boyfriend Scott Simmons owes for a Toyota Camry that was in her name. Scott says that Lisa is a woman scorned.
How much did you spend on his car before you repossessed it?
Before I could find it, I ended up making a total of 7 payments. He wasn't able to make a lot of them on time, so I would go in and pay the payment, and that would give him a few extra days to get to me with the money. He also gambled quite a bit, so he would gamble and then lose the money, and then he'd need a few more days.
In what month did you repossess the car?
I repossessed it in October because he was so far behind in the payments. I kept asking him to just give me the car, and I'll sell it and get him off the loan, and then we just don't have to deal with this
And what was his
anymore.
response?
No.
Why wouldn't you give her the car?
Because that wasn't part of our arrangement. Just like she suggested that I was supposed to be responsible
But you weren't
for
making
the car
payments on the. You weren't making payments on the
Because
car.
we were in a relationship.
No, not
She
anymore.
Yes, we were. She may have hidden it well from whoever else, and maybe she's delirious of the fact that we were still seeing one another at that moment.
You weren't paying for the car.
She was supposed to pay for the car.
No,
Sorry.
sir, you just lied to me. That's not what you told me 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago,
5
you
minutes
said
ago, I
5
suggested
minutes.
that I would help her whenever I
No,
could.
that's not what you said. Not you would help her. You told me she would help you if you were short. That's what you told me. Here you said that she was supposed to make all the payments. Clearly, that's a lie. 5 minutes ago, Mr. Simmons, you said, she said not to stress if you couldn't make the payments, then she would help you out. Now your story is she was supposed to make the payments and you would help her out. That's 3 different stories, Mr. Simmons, in 10 minutes. I don't know what you saw in him, madam. I've been with him for a relatively short period of time. Evidently, you need a longer period of time in order to have that attraction sort of kick in.
I think so.
You had a key made to the car. You went
Yes, I did.
to his place of employment
Well,
according
actually,
to
he wasn't working for all those months. So I spent hours and hours trying to find the car. He was evicted from his apartment, so I couldn't look there for him anymore.
How were you seeing him at that point?
I wasn't.
He says that you were still in a relationship.
We weren't.
Must have been through the astrologer.
That was probably it.
Go ahead.
So I searched for him and searched for him. I had everyone I know looking out for this car. I had the license plate. I had text
You finally
messages.
found it.
Finally
I have
found
other things to do.
He ended up.
All right. I've seen this advanced amino formula all over TikTok, and honestly, I didn't believe the hype. But I actually tried it for 14 days. And here's what surprised me. By day 3, the first thing I felt was energy. Real energy. Not caffeine, but like my body finally woke up. This formula has all 8 essential amino acids, the ones your body literally can't make on its own. And I noticed 2 big things. Faster recovery, soreness that normally lasts 2 days was gone in hours. Better focus, I didn't expect that.
And I'm not kidding. My skin actually looked better. Aminos help your collagen. Didn't know that. I wanted to use with reticular skins over the Visay's skin is to sacrifice in their face.
If you want more energy, better recovery, or even to look healthier, this actually works. I'm sticking with it. I put the link in description. Check it out if you want the same results.
Telling me he had just started back at his job. I showed up at his job while he was at work, sat in the car, called the tow truck, waited for them to come and get it.
So they towed the car to the company?
No, that had to do with the police. Wouldn't take any stand on it. They sent the tow truck home because it said it's a civil matter, but I wouldn't get out of the car. I said, well, it's not going to happen because I'm not going to get out of the car.
Great. So what happened?
He eventually gave in and took his stuff out of the car, but refused to give me the keys still. So I had to have it towed to a dealership and have a new key made.
That's not correct.
Well, so tell me what happened, sir.
No, she said that she was going to give me opportunity to try to get the car refinanced.
I'd been telling you for months.
Together, we drove over to the dealership. Meanwhile, while I'm in the dealership trying to get this refinanced, work it all out, she's outside. I come back outside to talk to her, and the car is gone. In a scandalous way, she had the car towed from the dealership.
Perfect.
Oh, you like that now?
Oh, I certainly do, sir. I certainly do. Did you bring any canceled checks to show me that in the 2 months prior to her taking possession of the car, you made the car payments?
Yes, ma'am.
Show me.
So last 3 pages. There were 2 car payments that I had made in the month of, I think it was March. Following that.
Just a second. Wait. In what month was the car repossessed?
I took it back the beginning of October.
In October?
Yes.
So we're talking about August and September.
There's a statement in there for August.
Well, you have something here that says girlfriend's account.
That's correct.
So in August, your girlfriend made a payment.
Through her account, correct.
Okay, and for $548.41. Okay?
That's correct.
Where is September?
Did not make payment September.
Why not?
Payment was already paid 2 months in advance. There was 2 payments made consecutively from February and March on the other statements that you have there.
We're not talking March. I'm asked you September. Show me September's payment, sir.
I just have August there.
Well, you didn't make September. Then in October, she said, I'm taking it back. Here, give this back to him. Wouldn't know the truth if it came up and slapped him in the face. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,659. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Spite, because I'm seeing somebody else.
I didn't care.
And when I didn't want to be with her anymore, she chose to take the car back.
All I wanted was the money to pay for the what's on my credit.
She was feeling neglected, yes.
Oh, Judge Judy's #1 rule, never co-sign a loan.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gentry versus Stevenson, step forward, please.
Dan Gentry is suing his former friend, 23-year-old Danielle Stevenson, for stealing a lockbox full of cash from his home. Danielle denies the charge.
Mr. Gentry, you and Miss Stevenson had sort of a casual relationship. The relationship isn't that important in this case. What is important is that you believe that while she was performing some work at your house, and that work was cleaning your house, which she did on occasion for money.
Correct.
She stole a lockbox that you kept in the basement.
Correct.
And its contents. And Miss Stevenson says she did not.
Correct.
She never saw the lockbox?
No, I didn't.
And so you, Mr. Gentry, are going to have to tell me what proof do you have that Miss Stevenson took this box? Go ahead.
She had cleaned for me the end of June of 06. It was a Friday, the 25th. That night I gave her a key to the house to come and clean the bathroom floor and do a few dishes the next day, okay? July 29th, when I came home from work at 7 p.m. that night, I came in front door, of course. By my front door of the closet, I noticed an umbrella missing. I went in the bedroom. My top dresser drawer was pulled out, $25, $30 cash. Went in the kitchen. There was a fingernail file, metal fingernail file that was originally in the bathroom, laying on the kitchen counter. That made me think, go downstairs and look at the lockbox. I went down there, completely gone. Nothing ransacked, doors completely closed.
That's on July 29th.
Correct.
Okay.
June 25th, she was down there cleaning by herself with a neighbor friend of mine. Her father and I had left to go to the store. She was down there 45 minutes, maybe an hour by herself, straightening up some bags. Nobody else knew where that lockbox was at or even could have found it.
So
when she was down there, more than likely she looked through there being in a...
I'm asking you, what proof do you have, sir, that she took the box?
I don't have 100% proof, but
I'm not asking you for 100% proof. You don't need 100% proof in civil court, but you need proof.
Okay, well, she had a key to the house that day, the only person with a key for her to come that Saturday the next day to do the cleaning.
So keep going.
Like I said, that's when I came home that night. It was missing. Made a police report. I do have that. Photos where the lockbox was. From there, it went to a detective. Miss Mancini refused to take a polygraph test. From there, it went later on.
What's your name was Stevenson?
I got married. He didn't know that I had gotten married until probably a month or two ago.
Okay, go ahead.
Went to a prosecutor after that, and he said he couldn't do a whole lot with it. But the only thing is, when I called her that night of the 29th of July of 06, outside she said, check the side door. I might have left it unlocked. I threw some water out there or something. Of course, I went over and checked the door, screen door, big door, both unlocked. But she remembered to lock the front door when she left.
So?
My feeling, 1 in a million, someone could come in there and knew where that lockbox was.
They also took $25 or $30 out of your drawer,
right,
according to you, and an umbrella.
Correct.
And your lockbox.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all the proof that you have against her?
She was the only one with the key that day, Your Honor.
Mr. Gentry, I don't even have to ask her any question. The fact that she had a key to your house doesn't mean that she took your property. Your door was also open. Is that correct?
The side door, which
no one... Side door was also open. Is that correct?
Correct. Left unlocked.
Mr. Gentry, I don't know whether she took your property or not, but the fact that she had access to your house, the fact that your property was missing, doesn't mean she took it. Doesn't mean she took it.
Okay. I do have a recording from my voicemail she had left after sometime August to February of 07.
Yeah.
That she'd left saying that she would pay me back even though she didn't do it.
Oh, she said she'll pay you back even though she didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Nobody else ever knew where that lockbox was. She's the only one down there ever.
So what you're telling me is you have a voicemail from her that says, I didn't do it.
Yeah, it's case number 458 on the calendar in the matter of Strayer versus Davis. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Strayer, this lawsuit alleges that the two of you, who would live together, decided to separate at some point. But before you separated, you claim a loan that you made to Mr. Davis to pay off some court fines. You took out a loan. It had a healthy interest on it. And while Mr. Davis did, in fact, pay some of that loan, you claim he still owes some of the loan. You also claim that he owes you for some rent.
Yes, ma'am.
And for wrecking a car that you let him borrow.
Yes.
Mr. Davis says that you gave him the car. He did wreck the car, but you had given it to him, so if he wrecked it, that's his problem. That he paid rent while he lived with you, and that as far as the loan was concerned, he told you not to take out that loan because it had such a high interest rate. You went ahead and took it out anyway. You gave him only some of the money. The rest you used to pay off your bills, and he's paid back everything that he took, plus a reasonable rate of interest on the loan.
I don't agree with any of what he has said.
Let's deal with the simple things first. Okay. When did you have this car accident, sir?
I think it was in September of last year, 07.
Were you still living together at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
When did she give you the car?
We were actually together at the time. Her and her mother had went ahead and purchased me a car as a gift because, you know, at the time I just got my driver's license and, you know, they were nice enough to give me a car.
And whose name was the car?
The car was in Stephanie's name.
Then it's not a gift.
Well, I mean, but it was a gift, but the thing was is we were still together. We were going to do the insurance in her name. It would have been cheaper. And so then we broke up, and then we never had the title switched over at the time because the car was wrecked at that point.
Somebody makes you a gift. They give you a gift, and they give you a gift. They give you the car, they give you the title, they give you the everything.
I call it a gift because I was never asked to pay anything back. Then I didn't even know that the price of the car or anything. That was never brought up. It wasn't an issue.
Just a second. At the time the car was wrecked, you were living together.
Yes, ma'am.
So she wouldn't necessarily ask you for the car back. It's her car in her name. You were driving it.
She gave me the car, Your Honor.
Well, tell me exactly what she said to you when she gave you the car.
She said, I mean, basically, I got you a car, baby, you know, here's a present. In those, pretty much in those same words. It was,
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Strayer.
Present was never used. Gift was never used. I bought the car and as a favor let him use the car to get to and from work. It was after a little while agreed that the car would just end up his, but I have the paperwork here from when I bought the car. The original amount that I paid on the car was $297, which he paid me for, and then after that I still had to pay $850 for the car.
How much was the total price for the car?
The total price, $1,147.
And he paid $297?
He paid $297, and then
does that sound familiar?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't you sound foolish?
No, I don't. Your Honor, she never discussed the price at all. Then she came to me and said that the dealer, that the only thing they owed was $300. They didn't say anything about $1,100. They didn't say anything about $1,500. They said it was $300, and that's what I gave her. I gave her $300 because there was a processing fee and all that stuff. It was through her mother, through her cleaners. It was a trade agreement with some dealership. That's all I know about it, and that's all she asked for was $300. And
what month was the car
I stick to my story.
purchased?
It was a gift.
In August 2007.
When was it totaled?
September 26, 2007.
How much did you pay on the car?
The $1,147.
Just a second. Did you pay $850 for the car?
Yes, we did.
You personally, he paid $297. Did you pay $850?
Yes, I did.
And within 3 weeks, the car was totaled? Mm-hmm. All right, so he owes you $850. Now, let's talk about the next to the easiest part, and that's the rent. While you were living together, I understand from reading your papers that he paid his half of the rent, and then you separated and put him out. He was going to go stay with his
sister.
That didn't work out. So according to you, he asked if he could come back and save some money so that he could get his own place, and you said yes. So far, is that right?
Almost.
Almost is close enough for me. And then he came back, and he stayed with you for a while, and it's that period of time that you're suing him for,
yes.
Right? Forget it. If you told him he could come back so he could save money, how is he going to save money if he's paying you rent? So to me, the concept was he would come back, he would sort of hang with you for a month or so, save up enough money for first and last or whatever it was, and then go on his way.
Yes, and I agree with that.
Fine, great.
Okay.
Perfect. So far he owes you $850. Now let's hear about the loan. How much did he need to pay off his court fines?
$1,300, Your Honor.
Fines for what?
For a past traffic violation.
Moving violations.
Yes, ma'am.
What else?
For a misdemeanor in another city.
Misdemeanor what?
Assault.
What else?
It was also disturbing the peace.
What else?
And honestly, I'm not sure about the rest. It was actually four different cases, 4 different dates.
How many times have you had court fines?
None.
Really? No assaults, no disturbing the peace, no traffic violations, no nothing?
Ma'am. None.
That urge to nest is very strong. You've got to raise your sights a little bit. Do you understand?
Got that now.
Okay. So you took out a loan with a very high interest rate. How much did you take out?
$2,500.
What'd you do with the rest of the money? He only needed $1,300.
The original amount that we thought we needed was about $1,500, but that was not including the interest that had accrued from the time we pulled the records until I went to actually pay them once I got the loan. So it ended up being more. Then on top of those fines, we also paid for his lawyer for the court date.
Is that
Which
right?
I paid for. I paid the lawyer, Your Honor.
I have it on
Just a
here.
second.
I have the
For
check
what?
stub.
What did you pay the lawyer with?
With my hard-earned money.
Show me a bank statement. You paid him by check, I'm sure.
No, it was cash.
No, you don't pay a lawyer by cash. Not if you're working. Are you working off the books?
No, ma'am.
So you work on the books. So you get a salary. They take out taxes. If you pay a lawyer,
Right.
you pay the lawyer by check.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And she was with me when I paid it cash.
I have the receipt right here made out to the lawyer
Can I see
for
it,
the
please?
full $250 amount that we had to pay him.
It was more than $250, Your Honor.
Well, then maybe she only paid part of it. What's your lawyer's name?
Olson.
That's it. Maybe his fee was more than $250.
I know it was.
So she only paid $250. You may have paid the
Which
rest.
I gave her the money for it, Your Honor.
Oh, well, that's not what you told me. You just
Right,
told
she
me
may have the receipts.
Just a second. Listen to me, sir. That's not what you just told me. You just told me she was right there when I paid the lawyer in cash. Right. Now you're telling me that she paid part of the lawyer, but you gave her money in cash.
When we went to court, she was there when I paid it. It was a payment. We had to pay half up front and then the final remainder when we went to court. The half up front was, we were still living together, whatever. I always gave her money. She just took care of everything. And that's why she has all the receipts and has her paperwork together.
You paid him half. She paid him the other half.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your excuse, Mr. Davis, is, I told her not to take it out, and despite my advice, she took it out anyway. That's what you wrote here. That's what you wrote here.
And later today,
what you do when you have hardships is you say, I will faithfully send you $50 a month. You don't blow him off. That's unreasonable because then he gets irritated.
But he doesn't listen.
rent, court fines, and for totaling her car. Chris is countersuing for the return of his property and moving costs.
How much were the fines altogether? The fines without the lawyer?
I don't have the receipts because he has them. I don't have the exact amount. I know it was closer to $2,000 with the interest.
Do you have the receipts?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Why not?
I misplaced them, and it was not $2,000. The fines totaled up like $1,300-something, $1,400, and the remainder
Just a
of the
second.
thing.
A moment ago, you told me $1,300.
It was like $13-something. The exact amount, ma'am, I'm not quite sure of. All I know is we had discussed the remainder of the loan, the excess money. We had agreed that we were going to pay back the lender to reduce the interest on the loan. Then instead, that never even happened.
Just a second. Let's say between your lawyer and your loans, it was $2,000.
The loan had nothing to do with the lawyer, Your Honor. The loan went toward the fines. There's a remainder of the loan that had nothing to do with the lawyer.
How much?
It was like $1,200 still left over, and that went toward bills.
That's very hard because you just told me that your fines were close to $1,400.
I don't know the exact amount. I know it was 13-something.
How much does he owe you on the loan?
$2,688.51.
And what was the interest rate on this loan?
99%.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
You understand that?
Yes.
It's a ridiculous amount of money, but he used the money. And your excuse, Mr. Davis, is, I told her not to take it out, and despite my advice, she took it out anyway.
That is not.
That's what you wrote here. That's what you wrote here.
That is not entirely true. I knew that she was going to be taking out a loan. I didn't know the interest rate on it until afterwards, and she said that, that she really had no choice, that she was up against the wall on the situation.
And you just should have said, I'm not taking the money from you. Go return it immediately so that you don't have any interest.
Right.
If you didn't want to take it. You chose to take it. You got to pay for it.
I did pay for it, Your Honor.
No, you didn't pay the whole thing.
Since the loan was taken out, I paid her every month for that loan, up until the point of about October.
Let me see the balance on the loan, please.
There's the
Did you ever take out a loan before?
Here's how much it was.
Did you ever take out a loan before?
Not this type of loan, no.
Any kind of loan?
I've taken a car loan.
Car loan,
yeah.
but this kind of loan?
No, yeah. That was the loan that I got to pay the... I ended up having to take a new loan out to pay that one off because I did not want to pay that ridiculous interest rate for the next 3 years. So the amount he would have ended up paying, if you see on there, is $9,700 and something. But because I actually paid it off with a loan from my parents, which they're even charging me an interest rate, but nothing like 99%, he's actually getting out about $7,000 off of it that he would have ended up having to pay.
Which I'm not responsible for the interest, Your Honor.
Yes,
I'm not.
you are.
I didn't ask her to take out 100% interest.
Then you shouldn't have
loan.
taken the money. You should have returned it to her.
Well,
You should have returned it to her.
You're right, I should have.
Well, you didn't.
But I paid the
She's not going to be behind the 8 ball for your traffic, assault, disturbing the peace, and whatever else you don't remember.
Your Honor, that was
That's
a
not
long
her
time
problem.
ago. I know it's
so
not her
far
problem.
you owe her $3,528. Now you have a counterclaim. The rent you're forgetting about, because so am I. The rent you let him move in because you felt sorry for him. Now you have a counterclaim, Mr. Davis. I have 1 minute to hear your ridiculous counterclaim. You want a barbecue grill that you left there?
My girl was left there, but that's not the main issue. When we first broke up, she said I could live with her for a while. I knew it wasn't going to work out, so I moved with my sister for a little while. It wasn't to move there at all. I came back within a very short period of time, moved back in with her. She said I could stay with her until Christmas, until her cousin moved in. We had a couple fights, a couple altercations where, I wasn't really welcome there anymore. And I knew that I had to leave anyway, but I didn't have enough money to get my own place. So she said, Chris, I'll give you 30 days to get your own place. And I said, thank you. And then within a week later, she told me I had to get out.
What happened?
Just altercations, fights. We just
Well,
couldn't get
then
along.
that's a very smart thing that you got out, sir, because with the disturbing the peace and assault and other things on
Your Honor,
your
that has
record, it
nothing to
would
do-
not have been a good idea for you to stay there if you were having altercations, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,528. Your counterclaim is dismissed because what you want is all the aggravation and the moving expenses that you had moving within that 30-day period. That was a very good idea. She did you a favor. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I had nothing to prove. I had no paperwork,
He got what he deserved,
She had her ducks lined in a row. I lost, so.
and I will definitely never let that happen again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hall versus Hall. Step forward, please.
Ronnie Hall is suing his former daughter-in-law, Sylvia Hall, for the unpaid balance on a PT Cruiser. Ronnie says that Sylvia totaled the vehicle and pocketed the insurance money.
Mr. Hall, this young lady is your former daughter-in-law.
Yes, ma'am.
She was married to your son, and I think they have a child. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, you sold her the car because she needed transportation. She was living away from you. She was living away from your son, and she needed some help.
Yes, ma'am.
She was supposed to sell her old car, which was not reliable, and give you the money from that sale, and then start to make payments on the car when she could.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
had agreed on a price, which was, I believe, $6,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Which was well below the book value of the car.
Yes, ma'am.
So far, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You turned the car over to her when, sir?
June of '06.
And you had the car for how long?
I had it for about a month.
And then you totaled it.
Yes, ma'am.
And you got an insurance payment for it.
I did.
How much?
A little over $6,000.
What do you mean a little over? Give me
It
the
was-
amount that you got.
I have a check here, less the deductible. So it was $5,942.82.
And you sold your old car.
I did.
And how much did you get for that?
It was roughly around $1,000.
Okay. So we acknowledge that you purchased the car. We acknowledge that he drove the car, turned it over to you, turned over all the paperwork, signed it over.
All right, I've seen this Advanced Amino Formula all over TikTok, and honestly, I didn't believe the hype. But I actually tried it for 14 days, and here's what surprised me.
By day 3, the first thing I felt was energy. Real energy. Not caffeine, but like my body finally woke up. This formula has all 8 essential amino acids, the ones your body literally can't make on its own. And I noticed 2 big things. Faster recovery, soreness that normally lasts 2 days was gone in hours. Better focus, I didn't expect that.
And I'm not kidding. My skin actually looked better. Aminos help your collagen. Didn't know that. I wanted to use with reticular skins over the Visay's skin is to sacrifice in their face.
If you want more energy, better recovery, or even to look healthier, this actually works. I'm sticking with it. I put the link in description. Check it out if you want the same results.
Over to you, even though you hadn't paid him a penny, relying on you to make payments. The first one being when you sold your old car. When did you sell your old car?
It was around July.
Was it before or after you totaled the car?
It was before.
Why didn't you send him the $1,000? That's what you had promised.
Well, the person that I sold the car to was a younger kid, and he was making payments on it. So I didn't get a substantial check. And I was behind on a lot of my bills. I separated from my husband in 2005, had to start all over, and I was severely behind. I was in an apartment that I couldn't afford. I couldn't afford to send Ronnie the money.
Does that mean that you just don't owe the money?
No, I know. I know I should have sent him money, but I just didn't have it at the time to give it to him.
Did you call him and tell him that?
I did. Anytime he called me, I would tell him what was going on in my life, and then I would tell him maybe if I can get things back in order, maybe by July I'll have some money for you. And then things just kept happening. I lost my job. I got sick. I just got diagnosed with lupus. I've had all kinds of medical expenses to take care of. Single mom of a child. I was totally honest with him about everything.
But the problem is you got a check for $6,000.
Right. I had to buy another car.
Well, what happened when you totaled the car and got this check for $6,000? Did you call him and tell him?
He asked me how much I got for the car. I told him. I said, I'm shopping for another vehicle, one that's cheaper. And if I can get some money to you, I would. But we never agreed on a payment plan. He just said, worry about it whenever we worry about it. He said, worry later.
Well, that's not forgiving the loan. You said he forgave the loan.
Well, he said to use the money for the car and said that we'll worry about it later.
Fine. So he was letting you get caught up. So when did you start to make payments?
I made one payment whenever I could, and that was the $200.
When was that?
That was the beginning of this year sometime, like in March.
I mean, are you telling me that you couldn't send him $20 a month?
He wouldn't accept it. I tell him that my mom, he had a conversation with my mother and said that I can send him $50 a month. He didn't want that. He said that's not enough. I can't afford anything else.
That conversation just happened. She called me the day she received the papers and said, you need to call my mother immediately. I wrote the number down. I called her mother. And the reason I wrote the number down and called her mother was several times during the time that I was trying to get payments on this vehicle, she said she was going to try to get a loan from her mother. So it was under my assumption that when she said, take this number and call my mom, that her mother was going to pay me the money. And that's why I immediately wrote the number down and called her mother. All her mother said to me for 45 minutes was that I needed to forgive this lump. That was the entire conversation.
Didn't say anything to you about paying $50 a month?
No.
If she had said to you, I will faithfully pay you $50 a month, what would you have said?
Great.
He called me several times at work over the process of this past year, and I would be at work. I couldn't speak to him about the issues because I was at work. I had clients in front of me. I'd say, Ronnie, I can't pay you right now. I have this and this going on. I will pay you as soon as I can.
Yeah, but he wanted a time. Miss Hall, you know, you're very sympathetic, but you also have to understand you made an agreement with him.
I understand.
And he's not a party to your problems. You have the father of your child who may be a party to your problems. You have a mother who may be a party to your problems. But he made a business arrangement with you, and he was very flexible with you. And I don't see any good faith basis to alter the agreement that you had, which was that you would pay him $1,000 when you sold the car, your old car, which you didn't do. You didn't even send him the payments that the young man was making to you when you sold him the car, which you should have, because you used that money for other things. And then when you got this windfall from the insurance company for a car that you never paid for, you spent the money. You bought another car and then you spent the rest.
I didn't just spend it frivolously. I have a daughter to take care of. I have medical bills. I'm just saying I've had hardships that I couldn't pay him the money.
I understand that. What you do when you have hardships is you say, I can send you and will faithfully send you $50 a month. I know it should be more, but I will faithfully send you $50 a month. You don't blow him off. That's unreasonable because then he gets irritated.
But he doesn't listen. That's the thing. It's like he'd call me at work. I'd tell him whenever I would be able to.
No, you told him I couldn't talk to him at work because I had clients in front of me.
I know. Well, I would tell him that. I'd say, I'm going to try and send you some money.
Did you call him back?
Time.
Listen, did you say to him, Miss Hall, I can't talk to you right now, Ronnie. I'll call you lunchtime. I'll call you at home in the evening.
I didn't.
You did not.
I did not.
You did not, because you were just as happy to get him off your back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000, which is all that I can award you here, sir. Thank you.
Yes, case number 474 on the calendar in the matter of Cyrus versus Riddick.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Miss Cyrus, he used to be your boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend anymore. He's a boyfriend with whom you made a baby.
Yes.
And you claim, in addition to being an ex-boyfriend, he also is a debtor, that he owes you for 2 loans.
Yes.
Mr. Riddick says he doesn't owe you for anything.
Mm-hmm.
How old's your baby?
She will be 4 in May.
Did you and Mr. Riddick ever live together?
Yes, we did.
From when to when?
Probably from the beginning of 2002 until he went to college in 2004.
Okay, tell me about the first loan.
The first loan, he went away to college after we had our child, and about 9 months later, around April, he contacted me about coming back home. He didn't want to purchase a plane ticket. He found a car out there that he liked. And I let him know, like, why don't you just come back first and maybe we can look for a car for you out here and do it better out here. What if the car breaks down on your way back? He said, no, it's a car he really likes and he wants to fix it up. And plus, it will be cheaper and he can help me with the baby by picking her up from daycare and so on and so on. If we had 2 vehicles, it would be better.
Were you working at the time?
Yes.
Were you living independently?
I was living with my mother at the time.
So, go ahead.
I explained to him the interest rate on it because I don't have that kind of cash. The interest rate on the card that I can put it on is like 19%, which is a ridiculous interest rate to even pay that much money on. And I was like, and I still want to buy a house within a couple years. You know, if I do let you borrow it, it needs to be paid off. Yeah. So I finally let him borrow the money.
How much?
$3,600.
And you took that off credit card?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he make the payments?
When he came back, he made a couple payments, random payments between September 2005 and July of 2006.
How many payments did he make?
He only made a total of 5.
And in what amount?
One was an amount $75, $30, $142, $117, and $40. A total of $404.
That's odd numbers. Why?
I took what I could at the time.
What do you mean you took what you could?
Well, because he doesn't keep a job that long, so whenever he was working and not going to school, he would give me money. So when he
Were you living together?
No, when he came back from college, we were not living together. He had another girlfriend. We've been not together. We've been back and forth. But
when he came back, he had another girlfriend, and you had given him money for a car?
I gave him money before he came back from college.
And after he came back, he found a new girlfriend?
About a few months later, yes, he did. Well, he was talking to her. I found out now while he was away at college. So
is that right, sir?
No, ma'am.
You didn't have a new girlfriend after you came home?
No, ma'am. It took a while afterwards.
How long afterwards?
It was about 6 months till when we came to the realization.
Fine. So 6 months later, you now had a new girlfriend, and you had a car that she had paid for.
The car was stolen.
I don't care if it was stolen. What difference does it make if it was stolen or not?
Doesn't make a difference.
Who do you think's going to pay for the car?
It was a mutual agreement we had for our family.
You had no family.
At the
Family
time
means you're married.
we were trying to work out our relationship.
That doesn't mean you have a family.
Hell not.
It's not a family. You're living in your house, she's living in her house, you just happen to have a baby. That's not a family.
Okay.
That's not even old-fashioned, but that's not a family. It's only a family if it's convenient for your mind, it's a family. Now, you're driving this car. Did you have insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't your insurance pay for the car?
Because the insurance paid $325 for the car.
Yes, and?
Yes, and
What did you do with the $325?
I put it towards a down payment to get another car. As the story was told, when I was in school, it would have cost more money to ship all my things back from school.
Who cares?
To home.
Who cares? To whose home did you ship your things? To whose home did you ship
When
your
I first
things?
got back,
No,
I
no.
was at Amber's home.
Listen to my statement very carefully, Mr. Riddick. When you were going to ship the things, where were you shipping them to?
You misunderstood what I said. No. It would have cost more money for me to
I
catch a
understand
plane,
exactly what
to
you're
catch a plane and ship my things back home.
Where were you going? To whose home were you going to ship the
Amber
things?
May Cyrus's home.
With her mother?
No. That's where I stayed at before.
Did you come back there after you purchased this car and stay there with her when you came back?
When I first came back, yes.
For
Afterwards, I
how,
left.
just a second. For how long did you stay in her mother's house, sir, when you first came back?
About a week.
And then where did you go?
To my mother's house.
That's better. Now, and when you went back to your mother's house, did you take all your stuff with you?
Majority of it, yes.
Yeah. What's the payoff on the car?
The payoff on the card, I don't have today's payoff. Because due to him not paying child support and stuff, I had to charge my own charges on this card. I only added up the interest that would have accrued for his purchase, because I did use the card.
How do you expect me to figure that out?
I just times the interest by the 2 years that it's been that he owed me.
I can't do that. How much was the whole car? Listen, you're
The
going
whole
to
car
complicate
was-
my life. I don't disentangle people's problems.
The
Do you
whole car was
understand? That's not
$3,600.
my job. The car was $3,600 and he paid $404. Is that
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
$3,196. And when did you make your last payment on the car, sir?
I've never made a payment on the car.
She says you gave her $404.
That money that was given was to take care of my child before I was put on child support.
Have you been paying your child support
Yes,
regularly?
ma'am. I have my documents.
Have you been paying your child support regularly?
Yes.
Then can you explain to me why they, according to her at least, they repossessed your truck?
They never repossessed my truck.
Really? For child support?
No.
They take your taxes for back child support?
That's because I was put on, then took off.
Did
so
they
the amount,
take your taxes to pay off child support?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and how much did they take?
$930.
Did you contest that amount, sir?
No, I didn't contest the amount.
Then you must have agreed that you owed $930 in child support.
We had already went to court for the child support, and that's what they told me I had to pay from the day she filed until the current day we went to the
Right.
mediator. So that is what I was owed in child support.
Correct.
It wasn't back payment as if I wasn't working or anything.
No, it was if you weren't paying anything, sir.
Yeah.
Let's say this. Let's say they made an order for you September 1st to pay $100 a month, and you hadn't paid child support since January 1st. So they would say, well, if you paid $100 a month going back till January, then you don't owe anything. But if you hadn't been paying any child support, then they're going to say from the date of filing, this is what you owe. Now, had you been paying her child support?
I wasn't paying her directly child support, no.
Well, who were you paying it to?
I was taking care of Kimara.
And how were you doing that?
By supporting her. I had my daughter 3 days a week and taking her to and from daycare.
Who was paying for the daycare?
We were both paying for daycare.
Were you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
In the court order, it was, but not before that. When he was away at college, every time after, until I filed, I was paying the full amount of daycare. That's why I filed for support, because he wasn't helping.
As stated by Amber Cyrus, the original reason she filed for child support was jealousy, and that she wasn't getting her money on the 1st, and she needed it on the 1st. I was giving it to her when I got paid on the 10th. I got paid on the 10th and the last day of the month, and she couldn't wait 10 days to get that money.
My daughter would be out of daycare if I waited 10 days to pay daycare.
But as she stated, she was already paying it, so 10 more days could not have hurt her pockets that much, ma'am.
Maybe not, but she likes the idea of getting it through the court, and I don't blame her, because that has nothing to do with old girlfriend, new girlfriend, or of course old car loan that gets stolen.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You'd let him take money out of your daughter's savings account that you put money away for
Yes,
her
ma'am.
future so that he could make a truck payment. That's your stupidity.
And later today,
You went over a median in the parking lot and you damaged the car. Who do you think should pay for that?
Not me, I'm not responsible for it.
Why? Did the island move while you were driving?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amber Cyrus says the father of her child, William Riddick, owes for a car she bought with her credit card. Amber also claims William took money from their 4-year-old daughter's bank account.
You also took money from your daughter's savings account.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
My great-grandmother passed, and I was awarded to go to her funeral. The day of, I got called into work to open the branch because they had a meeting. I was a bank teller, and they were supposed to let me off at 10. The meeting went till 12. When they came back, I just counted my tail out and left. And then I came back. They put me on administrative leave for just walking out. So from there, I got fired. From then, my savings account went to zero, and I needed money to pay my car loan.
So you had a new car that you were paying off?
Yes, ma'am.
Without paying for the old car? That got stolen?
The old
that
car
she
wasn't
paid
a
for?
loan.
Yeah, I find it's a loan.
Okay.
I find it's a loan. You're not her husband. If you were her husband and you
I
bought a
don't find
car,
it was
you
a
were
loan.
family and living together, that's one thing. You're away in college, you have a baby, you go to college, very nice. Call her, I want to drive home instead of flying home. It'll be more convenient and it'll save me money. Well, it saved you a whole lot of money. Saved you everything. You didn't pay for an airplane ticket. You didn't pay to ship anything home. She put the money on her credit card and you didn't pay. That's a pretty good deal.
How is it to pay for a decision that you make for your family?
You're not her family. Get over it.
Okay.
You're not her family. You're not any more her family than you are my family, sir. Family
I
is a
didn't lay
unit
down and
that
have a
stays
child with
together. Family, listen, everything has babies. Dogs, cats, fish, guppies, parakeets, they have babies. They don't necessarily have families forever. You don't have a family with this lady. You have a new girlfriend. How many children do you have? Just one?
Just one.
Just one. With her.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a new girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you live with her?
No.
You don't live with anybody.
I live on my own.
Good. That's not a family. Having a girlfriend is not a family.
I didn't say she was my girlfriend.
You just told me I have a new girlfriend.
You said it was my family.
No, I said having a girlfriend isn't a family.
Oh, okay.
Even having a girlfriend with whom you make a baby isn't a family. Unless you live together as a family unit. Then, by some stretch of the imagination, you may be able to call that a family unit. Now, I can't figure out what he owes you with interest, madam. He owes you $3,196 minimally, right? That's without any interest. And
Yes,
if he
ma'am.
hasn't made any payments, add on another $1,000, that's $41.96. And what he's saying is he needed money to pay his car loan, and you'd let him take money out of your daughter's savings account that you put money away for
Yes,
her
ma'am.
future so that he could make a truck payment. That's your stupidity.
I understand that.
Then you deal with your own stupidity. Stop making payments for him.
I will. I did.
Good. You want to know why? The last mistake you should make with him is making a baby. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. He looks like a very nice young man, but he's not ready to commit to you or anybody. He thinks that because he has a child, he has a family. He'll make a couple of families.
Yes.
Right?
I know.
Right. Right. But right now he owes you $41.96.
Thank you.
That's it. Judgment
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He feels if he has to pay me child support, he doesn't owe me any money.
Hey, women are women.
Hopefully he learned his lessons. I learned mine. So
Vindictive women.
the most important thing to me is my child.
I'm done.
For my future, I'm securing mine and my daughter's finances so we can have a better life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Culp versus Molina, step forward.
21-year-old Krista Culp is suing her ex-boyfriend, 19-year-old Jonathan Molina, for damaging her car when he ran over a cement island.
Miss Culp, you and Mr. Molina had a relationship. You lived together for a period of time. You claim he moved out owing you rent. And prior to his moving out, short time before he moved out, he had an accident with your car and damaged it. Let's deal with the car first because the car is the easy thing. Mr. Molina, you did in fact borrow Miss Culp's car to go to the store to run an errand. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And while you were there, you went over a median in the parking lot. Is that correct?
Yes, I went over what do you call it? Island.
Whatever. Something higher than the sidewalk, right?
Right.
And you damaged the car, right?
Yes.
Who do you think should pay for that?
Not me, I'm not responsible for it.
Why? Did the island move while you were driving?
No,
Then who should be responsible for it, Mr. Molina?
not me.
Well, I'm asking you, who?
She should.
Now explain why, sir.
Because she gave me full permission to borrow her car.
Right. She didn't give you permission to drive it over an island. She gave you permission to go to the store for an errand. You had an accident because you drove carelessly. I mean, unless you're telling me this is a movable parkway. You drove carelessly, therefore it's your fault. Now, Mr. Molina, you have to repeat after me, sir. How old are you?
19.
It was my fault.
It was not my fault.
Whose fault was it, Mr. Molina? Mr. Molina.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you driving?
Yes, I was.
It was your fault! Did I say it loud enough so that maybe you understand it at age 19? At age 19, you shouldn't be in a relationship with somebody. How old are you?
21.
You have children?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many?
2.
He's too young for you. You have children?
No.
You should be out playing hopscotch or something. But you owe her to fix the car, Mr. Molina, because when you have an accident with a car that you borrow because you're driving recklessly and go over an island that is not moving, it's your fault. And if she had no insurance on the car... She
and I were both taken to the same hospital in the same ambulance.
What hospital?
To Spine Memorial Hospital.
Do you have a police report for me, please?
Yes.
It's right there. Okay, Ms. Moore, coming back to you. Now we're going to come to the point in this story where you're going to tell me your version of how her arm got broken.
Well, first of all, there was a consultation in the house, and Brenda held me and Kim, and I have a sworn testimony from the court where my attorney said, "And you slapped her?" And she said, "Yes." At that time, she
Just a second. Who slapped you?
Kim hit me in the face with the telephone while my sister held me in the kitchen and would not let me leave.
Let me see the testimony. Oh, well, she says, "Do you remember slapping Alice?" She said, "Yeah, I told you in the kitchen when she was pulling my hair and we were going back and forth." "And you slapped her?" "Yes."
But, Judge, I could not be pulling her hair.
Just a minute. Don't explain. You have to read me the whole thing, Miss Moore.
Okay.
She didn't just admit slapping you. She said you were pulling her hair and you were going back and forth and she slapped you.
At the time she slapped me, I had my hands restrained by my sister Brenda.
I would like you to tell me how her arm got broken.
Well, from there, I went outside and was leaving. At that time, her brother stopped me from going to the car. He pounced over the porch and pulled his hand back to hit me. And you're looking at a guy, I wouldn't take my eyes off because he lifts weight and he could have killed me. And he said all kinds of things to me as I was trying to leave. My daughter stood in between us to stop it.
Okay, so your daughter got in between you and her brother.
Right.
Okay.
And as I was looking for my granddaughter, Kim...
Just a second. If your daughter got in between the two of you, why didn't you go back to your car?
I was going, but my granddaughter had the keys to my car.
Where were you looking for her?
Right there, but right there in front of my mother's house.
Well, you just have to look. How old is your granddaughter? Is she a little teeny girl?
Yes.
How old is she?
I thought she was about 11 or 12. That's what she looks like.
How old?
She just turned 18, Judge.
So she was 16 at the time?
15. She hadn't turned 16 yet.
15 at the time. Well, you're not looking for her on the ground, madam. Listen to me. If you're looking for your granddaughter who's outside, and the people who are outside, according to you, your nephew, and your daughter, that's 3 people. That's who you told me were outside, and you were looking for your granddaughter around that area. That
and Kim came off the porch, charged off the porch with something and hit me in the face, and I could not see. I put my hands up, and I have pictures of where she hit me in the head, and I couldn't see at that time.
Just a second. Hold on a second. Show me the pictures that you have. I don't see anything wrong with your head now.
I had a goose egg right here.
Now,
It
not
shows
not according to the police report.
the police did not come and check me out at all or anything. I went to the hospital, to
Listen
the
to me.
emergency room.
Let me see the medical records from the hospital. According to the police report, when they spoke to you, there was nothing wrong with you, except you were complaining of chest pains. That's
There's
according
where I
to
was
two police
admitted in the
officers. Listen to
hospital.
me. That's what the police said. You complained of not a goose egg on your head, not being hit on your head. They took you to the hospital for observation because, listen to me, because of the chest pains. What I want you to do is give me the hospital record.
I don't have that part.
Well,
that
that's what
I could not
need.
get that part in time for court today.
Well, that's unfortunate because you've had over a year to get that hospital record. Who are you?
I'm her husband, Your Honor.
Were you there?
I talked to her at 7 o'clock.
He was on the phone
Listen
when
to
I
me.
went
I was
in
on
to
the
tell her
phone
I
when
was
she was told she
leaving.
was leaving.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't.
My daughter Frankie was there.
Oh, I believe Frankie was there. You can step up, Frankie. I believe you were there.
Yes, ma'am.
How did your cousin's arm get broken?
By her brother yanking her arms. When she had my mother's head, she grabbed my mother by her left, with her left hand, with Kim's left hand, by her hair, yanked her head over where she's completely bent over. My mother's face is touching the cement. Kim's brother runs from behind Kim and grabs Kim with his arms like this, and he's pulling her, and she's hitting my mother upside the head with a cordless phone in her right hand, and I grab at the phone, and Scott is pulling Kim at both of her arms backwards. No one touched her arms except for her own brother.
Okay, fine. You can sit down. It's very unfortunate when everybody gets stressed out in a situation where...
What was
I'm speaking. It's very unfortunate when people get stressed and angry because somebody who's close to them is dying. And put the picture down, madam. Pay attention to me. The first mistake that you made was not listening. Your mother was dying of liver cancer. The instructions that you were given to give her morphine every 4 hours were the appropriate instructions. I am not a medical person, but unfortunately I have been in situations where I know that you're not supposed to wait until you are in pain as needed when you are dying. You're supposed to keep medicated so that the pain of liver cancer doesn't take hold. So these people were taking care of your mother for months before you got there. And then pay attention, try to get it through. And then you come to the scene and decide, this isn't right. The medication says as needed. I'm not going to give her the medication every 4 hours. And everybody is annoyed at that situation because you're sort of a Johnny-come-lately. They've been there for months taking care of the situation, making decisions without you. They took care of, they were the ones who were up at night, they were the ones who were feeding, and all of a sudden you show up and decide to change the rules. Big mistake. You weren't saving your mother's life, Miss Moore. She was going to die. I'm speaking. She was going to die anyway. The question was she going to die peacefully and not in pain ever? Or whether you were going to try, your method of treatment was let her get a little bit uncomfortable and then we'll give her the medication as needed. Unfortunately, you made a mistake in your choice. I do not believe your daughter when your daughter says that you were beaten over the head with a phone, because there is nothing in any of the official records, including hospital records, which you had every opportunity to get over the last year and a half, that suggests that when you were admitted to the hospital for your chest pains, they noted bruising and swelling on your head that would be consistent with your being hit over the head repeatedly, according to you, and according to your daughter, with a cell phone. So I do not believe you were falsely charged. And I believe you broke her arm,
Oh, ma'am,
I believe that you. I'm
I
speaking.
did not. I was leaving and they attacked me.
Okay.
That's
You
all
may
I
have
was
convinced-
doing was leaving.
You may have convinced
they
you that
wouldn't
Miss
let
Moore-
me leave.
You may have-
I didn't care about what medicine they gave Mother. They attacked me. And they didn't take my statement. The police didn't let me give a statement. My lawyer will testify to that. Why don't you call her?
Listen to me. I don't want to go any further with this, Miss
And I
Moore,
was
because I'm
found not
speaking.
guilty of all
I'm
of
speaking.
those.
I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Speak.
I swear I did not.
Listen to me very
Where's
carefully.
the Bible? I took a lie detector's test even, and I did not touch them.
Your
None of them.
case is dismissed. Did you have any unreimbursed medical bills?
Yes, ma'am.
What were they? Unreimbursed medical
Well,
bills.
I have $7,000 right here.
Judgment for the defendant on the counterclaim in the amount of $5,000. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 8 on the calendar, the matter of Flynn versus Cavett. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Flynn, how long have you lived in the building where you are currently residing?
I'm not currently residing there any longer, but I lived there for 15 years.
How long have you been out of that building?
1 month.
And how long had Miss Cavett been your upstairs neighbor?
Approximately 1 year.
Did you have any difficulty with her before this incident happened?
Nothing face-to-face, but was always noisy prior to this incident.
Had you ever complained?
No.
And on February 14th, tell me what happened.
On February 14th at 5 p.m., I entered my apartment and discovered that the ceiling and the walls were flowing with steady streams of water. Instantly, I ran to management and asked them if they could assist me in the problem, and informed me that Jasmine Kiveth, the resident above me in number 327.
Don't tell me what they said to you. Pronounce your last name?
Kivett.
Miss Cavett, you were home on February 14th.
Yes.
And you're going to tell me that...
All right. I've seen this Advanced Amino Formula all over TikTok, and honestly, I didn't believe the hype. But I actually tried it for 14 days. And here's what surprised me. By day 3, the first thing I felt was energy. Real energy. Not caffeine, but like my body finally woke up. This formula has all 8 essential amino acids, the ones your body literally can't make on its own. And I noticed 2 big things. Faster recovery, soreness that normally lasts 2 days was gone in hours. Better focus, I didn't expect that.
And I'm not kidding. My skin actually looked better. Aminos help your collagen. Didn't know that. I wanted to use with reticular skins over the Visayas. Skin is to sacrifice in their case. If you want more energy, better recovery, or even to look healthier, this actually works. I'm sticking with it. I put the link in description. Check it out if you want the same results.
Through no fault of your own, the bathtub overflowed.
Yes.
And it was that overflowing bathtub that caused the damage to Miss Flynn's home.
Yes.
Because it was the bathtub's fault.
No, Your Honor.
Well, that's what I read here. It was the bathtub's fault. The bathtub didn't have an appropriate little hole in it. And even though you left the water running, it was the bathtub's fault for not having a hole.
There was no overflow drain.
Overflow drain. I'm not good at those things. So it was the bathtub's fault because it didn't have an overflow drain.
No, Your Honor.
Whose fault was it?
I was bleaching my bathtub, and there were tons of chemicals. The chemicals were so strong, I had to dilute them. So I left the water running, and I just was doing spring cleaning. It was an honest mistake. The water began to overflow. I did what I could to try and remedy the situation. It was an honest mistake, and she handled it in such a way that I had no choice but to refuse to pay her.
You come from California?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work at a company called Mad Science, and I teach in-class workshops and after-school programs.
You look like a nice young lady.
Thank you.
You're not seriously suggesting to me that you're not responsible for the damage to her apartment and to her things.
I understand that what happened was not her fault at all. She could not help the water coming into her apartment, of course, but the way that she handled it, she attacked me in such a manner. She provided me no evidence when she asked me for money. She wouldn't let me into her apartment to assess the damage, and the two people who were able to see the damage told me that it was very minimal. They had dealt with her numerous times, that she was crazy, and I was beginning to think that she was a little crazy because she would yell at me, cuss at me, she would stand on her balcony demanding money.
Well, this happened on February 14th.
Yes.
So now we've acknowledged, Ms. Cavett, that you are at fault. You lived in that apartment for a year.
Yes.
You know that the bathtub did not have an
overflow drain.
An overflow drain. Yes. This wasn't a surprise bathtub. It didn't sneak it in there,
no.
Right? When you weren't looking.
Of course
This
not.
was the same old bathtub that was in there that was dirty because you hadn't been cleaning it all along. So you were bleaching it out and doing other spring cleaning, and you forgot about it.
I knew that the water was diluting the chemicals. It had to. I couldn't just leave the bleach, and it was such a...
Well, if it was diluting the chemicals, the water was
running, of course, yes.
And if the water was running and you didn't check on it often enough, then it was going to overflow,
yes.
Because it had no...
It had no overflow drain.
Right.
I was under the impression that in the state of California there must be an overflow drain or your plumbing's not up to code.
Okay. All right. There we go. Bert, stand up there, and I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see any of that. So let me understand something. It was the bathtub's fault that it wasn't up to code. Either that or you thought that somehow between the time you started to bleach the tub out and the time it overflowed, it came up to code and somebody snuck in an overflow hole?
No, Your Honor.
So that you knew that there was no place for this water to go if you left the water running except on the floor. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're not talking anymore about liability. We have now, you and I, determined, my dear, that it's not the bathtub's fault that it overflowed.
Of course not.
It's your fault. You were dusting and cleaning and being Martha Stewart and weren't paying attention to what was going on in your bathtub. Now the question is, what are the damages that Miss Flynn, the perfectly innocent bystander to this, suffered as a result of your negligence? Don't laugh at her. Don't smile at her. Just show me the damage.
Well, there was a raw pine dresser. It was in my closet with all of my other clothing and ended up being completely saturated and soaked. It swelled so bad that I couldn't open any drawers.
Okay.
So I replaced a dresser. There was a wool braided rug that was also damaged.
I assume you took photographs?
Yes, I did.
Can I just see them, please?
Sure.
Good. Now, when did you
I went to her apartment and I confronted her and informed her that there was a serious situation occurring in my apartment and that at some point we were going to have to do a damage assessment. For 2 weeks, I didn't hear one thing from her. So I wrote her a letter informing her that I was expecting her to assume responsibility and that I was willing to give her a break on certain items that were damaged because I understood she was having a difficult time.
Okay. So far, I see a lot of walls. You didn't replace any of the walls?
No.
You didn't repaint or anything?
Right.
They did that. Okay. How much did it cost you to replace the dresser?
$216.
You have a bill?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please? And the rug?
Haven't replaced it.
How much did you pay for it?
It was $180.
What happened to the Tiffany lamp?
Water came down on the surface area where I had the coffee table, burned it out, wouldn't work.
Okay. $489 are what your bills are.
Here is a $75 bill to clean my carpet.
Okay, let me take a look at that. Okay. I think that you're responsible for $564 worth of damage to her apartment, including the cost of cleaning carpets. What do you want to show me?
I have a letter in which she states that she bought a rug from Walmart for $39, and now she's charging me for a different one for $200.
In place of the one for $180.
Let me see the letter. So instead of the rug for $180, you replaced it with a rug for $39?
I said that in this letter, if you'll read it, it's stating that I expected her to assume responsibility and that I would give her a break and I was willing to work with her. That arrangement was created in hope that I didn't have to go to court and sue her.
Okay, the items that she originally indicated to you come to $366.
Yes.
Plus a lot of aggravation.
Your Honor, I tried to work with her. I have a phone bill here.
So what did you offer her?
I called her numerous times.
What did you offer her?
She was harassing me, and I asked to see the damage. I couldn't offer her anything without knowing what I was paying for. All I asked for was a mere photograph or to be let into her apartment to see. You know, I apologized for what happened, but I said, can we work together? Can I see what's going on? I can't just blindly hand you money and say, here, I know there was a flood, so here's all my money. All I asked was to see what happened.
Judge Judy, for 2 weeks, I had to try to wrangle her into coming to take damage assessment, into trying to come to my apartment.
What was the
set up
first
an
date on
appointment.
your phone bill? What was the first date that you called her after the flood?
February 22nd.
That's not enough.
That's not before I had her phone
Listen
number.
to me, my dear. You don't need a phone number. You go up to her apartment, write her a note.
I did. I didn't write a note, but I knocked on the door.
Listen to me. If this happened on February 14th,
yes,
you going up to her a week later is not sufficient. You calling her on the telephone a week later is not sufficient. She's not going to keep dirty laundry, a rug around while you make time to go up to her house.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You've made this case very, very complex because this convoluted story that you tell me doesn't make sense to me, Mr. Zai. It's a very dumb thing to do.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stacy Flynn says her former upstairs neighbor, Jasmine Cavett, damaged her apartment when she overflowed her bathtub. Jasmine says it was an accident.
Look, the original bills that you gave her amounted to $366. What you've padded over the next couple of months, because you've been aggravated and annoyed, come to $564. Quite honestly, I believe that your time is worth something.
Thank you.
Your time to clean the premises, the time to get rid of the rug, the time to go out and buy new boots, the time to sop up the stuff, the time to wait for people to come and clean the carpeting. That's worth something. Now, the fact that the defendant says it was an accident, well, it certainly wasn't on purpose. She didn't mean to cause this flood, but she did cause the flood, and she was responsible for the consequences, including your loss of time. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't even know her. She apparently didn't like me. I have no idea why.
Completely irresponsible, total drama queen, liar.
I felt unsafe going home. I never knew what she was going to do.
Never once did she even come down to my apartment and ask me if she could help.
Where's my effing money?
Maybe this will teach her a lesson, hopefully.
It's a learning experience.
When she watches Judge Judy, she probably won't ever forget what she did.
You have a very busy corporate schedule.
Yes, I do.
Like what?
I do bartend as well as model, and I'm pursuing other social non-for-profit organizations.
She for real or what?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Zai versus Hagedorn, step forward.
Real estate investor Kumar Zai is suing former friend, 25-year-old bartender Morgan Hagedorn for a loan for bail. Morgan claims Kumar's pawned her laptop and digital camera behind her back.
Mr. Zai, it is your claim that the defendant owes you some money for bail and for collect calls that she made to your home from jail. She is, according to what I've read in your complaint, the ex-roommate of your ex-girlfriend.
Correct, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Yes.
Ms. Hagedorn?
Yes.
When were you arrested and for what?
It was early March of last year, and I was arrested for driving on a suspended license.
Why didn't you have a license?
Prior court tie-ups.
What does that mean, prior court tie-ups?
What had happened is I had received a notice in the mail, and I did not fill it out in time or get it back, and therefore my license was suspended.
How many times was your license suspended?
Just the once, but due to missing court dates and whatnot, I got it revoked as well as a bench warrant for my arrest, and that's when I was arrested.
You have a very busy corporate schedule, Ms. Hagedorn?
Yes, I do.
You do? Like what?
I do bartend full-time as well as model, and I'm pursuing other social non-for-profit organizations here in, well, my hometown, St. Louis.
Is she for real or what?
It takes up a lot of my time.
You get a copy of my old book, will you please?
Put that on your schedule.
Why did you call Mr. Zai when you got busted?
I called my roommate, and she was at his apartment, and I didn't know what to do.
Called your roommate on her cell phone?
That is correct.
And you found her at Mr. Zai's apartment?
They witnessed the arrest, and they were aware of what had happened.
Just listen to me very carefully. You called her on her cell phone?
I do believe.
What does that mean, you do believe?
It's been a long time, and it was a very traumatic night.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Zai?
I'm a real estate investor.
Did she call you in your house?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the phone bill?
Unfortunately, I couldn't obtain the phone bill. No, I don't have the phone record.
Well, what evidence do you have of this whole thing, sir?
Well, I do have a paper from the court from the day that I actually went and bailed her out of jail. I had to charge it on my credit card. There was a record of that, and which was actually the bond money. And I also have a court paper that shows that they refunded the bond money to her and her attorney instead of coming back to me.
Why is that, Ms. Hagedorn? Why did you take the bond money?
I did not receive any bond money. I was told that I was not to receive it, and it was to be paid to my attorney for services rendered.
Who's your attorney?
Leland.
Phone number?
I do not have that information on.
Go get it. Go get it.
Okay.
Ready.
Area code 947.
Okay, and it is your testimony that you never saw any of this money, and it went to your attorney for counsel fees that were your responsibility?
Yes.
They were Mr. Zai's responsibility?
That is correct.
Good. So why don't you owe him this money, $1,095?
Well, what happened, Your Honor? Kumars told me that he had taken my laptop as well as my digital camera that was at his girlfriend's grandmother's house, and he pawned it off. This was
Didn't do it, but I would pay you because the detective had told her that she might be facing charges against her.
Is that right?
Yes. The reason I told him that I would pay it even though I didn't do it is because me and him were friends for like 4 or 5 years. And this is somebody who I talk to every day, who was like my best friend. So him being mad at me, it made me upset. So I was willing to make payments to him on whatever he thought was stolen just so we could continue our friendship.
I wouldn't want to be friendly with somebody that thought I was a thief.
I kind of figured that if I said something like that, he might realize that I didn't do it. Because if I was going to steal from him, I would have done it during the beginning of our friendship, not towards the end after, my son spent time with him and everything else. He came to my parents' house, everything.
Whatever. You don't have enough evidence for me to even stretch it, sir, and reach a conclusion that you can establish, even in a civil proceeding, that she stole your property. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Your case is dismissed.
Case number 398 on the calendar in the matter of Kennedy versus Kennedy.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
How old are you?
13.
Is your mother?
Yes.
And your father?
Yes.
You can wait outside. Mrs. Kennedy, this is your former husband, and it is your claim that he owes you some money for some bills that came up after your divorce papers had been filed and therefore were not resolved in the judgment of divorce.
That is correct.
That's pretty much your claim. Your husband says that these bills that you're asking for are petty, that he took care of the home and the children for 4 months after you left with absolutely no support from you, and the least you could do is pay for the electric.
That's correct.
When did the two of you separate?
We separated in August of 2005.
And I gather from what Mr. Kennedy says that you left the home.
I didn't leave the home until the sale of the home, which was in April of 2006.
In August 2005, were you living together?
Yes.
In September of 2005, were you living together?
Correct.
Mr. Kennedy, you said your wife left. When did she leave?
April 2006.
When she left in April of 2006, where were the children?
With me.
For how long?
Until July, I believe it was 19th of 2006.
And where were you?
I had moved to a different residence approximately 4 blocks away with my 2 oldest children from a previous relationship.
And you were there with 4 children?
3.
3. How old were they?
Now they're 13, 9, and 7.
And who do they live with now?
They live with Carrie now.
Is that by agreement?
Yes.
And you pay child support?
I do.
How much?
Roughly $600 a month.
Is that correct?
That is correct. However, Your Honor, he wasn't paying child support until ordered by a judge and until his wages were garnished. For almost a year and a half, he did not pay child support.
Is that right, sir?
Correct. I wasn't working at the time.
I don't care. That's irrelevant to me. And I'm sure it was irrelevant to the court that you weren't working. Why weren't you working?
I guess I just couldn't find a job.
When you have 3 children, you find a job. You're an intelligent man, you know that. Okay, so then I'm less sympathetic with you, Mr. Kennedy. You see, I was getting sympathetic because if Mrs. Kennedy leaves and she leaves you with 3 children and she sends you no child support, I sort of feel as if $1,100 is pennies under those circumstances. But if you didn't pay any child support for over a year because you decided not to work, that's a lot longer than 3.5 months.
Correct, but I would pick up the children throughout the week, provide for them what I could. When I had a job, I'd give her half of whatever I made.
And you mean at the times when you weren't providing them with support and she was taking care of 5 children, she was supposed to say to the kids, we're not eating lunch today because Dad's not working and whatever I do. Do you work?
I do work, Your Honor.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for a promotions department. I organize events through the county.
Same job for how long?
Almost a year and a half.
Okay. When you left in April of 2006, according to your complaint, he was supposed to take the electric bill out of your name.
Correct.
Is that your agreement?
That is correct.
Well, that's what she's stuck with. She's stuck with that bill. That's what she's asking you for.
Initially, it was supposed to come to me, and I had contacted the electric company, told them I'd have to make payments on that. That wasn't good enough for them, so they decided to tack it onto her bill at her new house.
So then you owe, just a second, so you owe her that money. How much does he owe you for the electric?
$699.99, and that's not exactly how it went. He stayed in the house that we once shared, rented it from the new owner, couldn't continue paying the rent on it, and left. Moved in with a friend, left no forwarding address, and to my understanding made no contact to the electric company to get the bill resolved. And that's how it got transferred to me.
Fine, $699.99. It's yours. Let's go on to the income taxes, which is a far more interesting subject. Go ahead.
Income taxes. These are from the year of 2003 when Kevin was employed full-time and I was a stay-at-home mom. Apparently when he was unemployed after we separated, I don't know if the state of California had tried to make contact with him, but they couldn't find him. They found me because I was working.
Can I see the tax bill? You know about this tax bill, Mr. Kennedy?
Through my ex-wife, I do.
And?
When I moved from the house that we shared, I forwarded I had all my mail forwarded.
I'm not talking about the forwarding mail. I'm talking about this tax bill. It was money that clearly you were working full-time, correct?
Correct.
She was not employed outside of the home.
When we were together, no.
Did you owe child support for other children?
No.
A record show an outstanding child support obligation that has priority over your personal income tax liability.
Your Honor, I believe that's for the current child support he's owing back.
I see. The balance due here is $342.55. Did you pay it?
It's being garnished from my wages.
Show this to him, please. Have you ever seen that document?
I haven't read it. I just heard about it from her.
And he was given that information. He said he tried to make contact with them, but was on hold for too long.
I had my mail forwarded to a P.O. box. If they wanted to find me, they could have found me.
Maybe they did find you. Maybe you took it and threw it in the garbage. How do I know? It's your responsibility. Why didn't you pay it?
Because I didn't have the $300 and some to pay her.
Well, who are you living with now?
I live with some friends.
That's not a good enough answer for me. Who do you live with now? The names of the people that you live with.
Joshua and Tina. I think their last name is something like that.
How long have you lived with them?
4 months.
Are they a couple?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, why bother to get into it with you? You owe her $1,100, Mr. Kennedy. When you have 3 children, you can't afford to be unemployed unless you are mentally or physically unable to work, neither of which appears to be so in your case. So you have 3 children, you have to do whatever you can do. You get a hack license, you drive a cab, you pick up cans, you go to work for the Parks Department. You can't take the day off.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Since July of 2006, he's lived with 5 different people.
Sounds as if he's not doing too well.
He's not, Your Honor.
And later today,
They signed a lease.
They signed a lease that I was not aware of.
What difference does it make? That was your agreement with her. She's not your mother. Why would she make your mortgage payment? Thick.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carrie Kennedy says her ex-husband, Kevin Kennedy, owes for an electric bill, a cell phone bill, and for taxes from the state.
Okay. Now, did you get half the money from the house that was sold?
I did.
How much did you get?
I believe it was $32,000 or $36,000.
And how much did you get?
Approximately 20.
20.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. It was split right down the middle. You got half, I got half.
Why would she get more than you?
I agreed to give her more than I got because she was moving into a new place. And she complained to me that splitting it right down the middle wouldn't be fair to her.
Does that sound right?
He would not allow me to take anything out of the home that we had in the house, except for any personal items. He kept the refrigerators, the computers, TVs, everything else. I didn't get any of that until I took possession of the children in July of 2006 because he had nowhere to move and had to move in with his girlfriend. Since July of 2006, he's lived with, I'm approximating 5 different people.
Sounds as if he's not doing too well.
He's not, Your Honor, and it's just incredibly sad that my oldest daughter has had to move back home with me to help me pay the bills.
Judge for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100. That's all. Thank you.
All these are excused. You may step out.
This money has been long owed to me, and I'm just glad it's done and over with.
I just hope there's no other bills that pop up that I have to be taken to court for.
I think this is going to be a never-ending battle.
I'm just ready to go home.
Plaintiff Alice Moore is suing her niece, office manager Kimberly Kayla, for having her falsely arrested for an assault. Kimberly is countersuing, claiming Alice broke her arm.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 22 on the calendar in the matter of Moore versus Kayla.
Thank you, Bert.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Whew. Family that certainly does not get along well. Miss Moore, the defendant is your niece.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that she had you falsely arrested for assaulting her last year during the time that your mother was ill and dying.
Yes, ma'am.
You went through a trial recently and were acquitted.
Yes,
found
ma'am.
not guilty. And you're suing her for the false arrest and for the year that you spent facing these charges. The defendant says that the charges were true and that she is counterclaiming for her injuries. Her injuries, I believe, were broken arm.
Yes, ma'am.
When was your mother ill last year?
My mother became ill early in January, but she really got bad in March of, it was 2003.
And when did this incident occur with your niece?
March the 10th, after I flew to Texas to be beside my mother who was dying at her home.
So you tell me your version of what happened, what led up to this incident.
Saturday afternoon, my sister, Brenda, had instructed me to give medication to my mother every 4 hours without stopping. And it put my mother in a very...
What kind of medicine was it?
One was a morphine and the other one was for anxiety.
Did your mother had cancer?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of cancer did she have?
Cancer of the liver.
So the morphine was prescribed to keep her calm.
Yes, ma'am, but on the prescription of the bottle it says every 4 hours as needed. And my question was, that night she was totally out of it, and my brother he was there that night, and he had to pick my mother up out of the bed because she could not move at all. And we did not give her the medication every 4 hours like my sister had instructed, and I had asked my other sister in the morning about the medication.
So that caused a problem with your niece?
They were all upset because I would not give the medication like that. But anyway, Sunday night, I left and went out to another sister's house to rest. And when I came, that morning on Monday, my daughter and I came back in the afternoon, and I come to the conclusion I couldn't handle seeing my mother's death.
Okay.
Because of my heart condition and my nerves.
Okay, you couldn't handle it. Okay.
And I was talking to my husband on the phone, and I told him he could reach me. I was on the porch, and I told him he could reach me out at my other sister's. Brenda got mad at me, and I don't want to have a consultation with my mother dying.
Why was she angry with you? What was she saying?
She just felt that I was there trying to take over, and she was already had said that she was going to come out there and...
All right, I've seen this Advanced Amino Formula all over TikTok, and honestly, I didn't believe the hype. But I actually tried it for 14 days, and here's what surprised me.
By day 3, the first thing I felt was energy. Real energy. Not caffeine, but like my body finally woke up. This formula has all 8 essential amino acids, the ones your body literally can't make on its own. And I noticed 2 big things. Faster recovery, soreness that normally lasts 2 days was gone in hours. Better focus, I didn't expect that. And I'm not kidding. My skin actually looked better. Aminos help your collagen. Didn't know that. I wanted to use with reticular skins over the Visayas skin is to sacrifice in their face.
If you want more energy, better recovery, or even to look healthier, this actually works. I'm sticking with it. I put the link in description. Check it out if you want the same results.
Whip on me on Monday, and I didn't pay any attention to that in a phone call that we had.
Was that over the medication?
Yes.
Is that so far, is that right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, step up. Brenda, what were you angry about?
I wasn't angry with her. I was actually relieved that she was there to help us because we had 3 months prior of taking care of my mother. Everybody was stressed out. It was a bad time. My sister had called me and she told me that the hospice people had told her not to give my mother the medication except when she needed it. I told her specifically, Alice, when you're there, you do what you need to do. I told her I was calling a meeting with the hospice people on Monday. The whole family would be there. We could all understand. I learned more about death than I ever wanted to know with my mother. And I didn't want to go through this by myself. I wanted my sisters there. I wanted help. Right. So when we asked for a meeting, she said 10 o'clock. My sister couldn't be there. She was so concerned about my mother and the medication, but she couldn't be there to see what the hospice people, we were doing exactly what they said, Which is medicating her every 4 hours and not letting the pain grab hold of her.
Right,
well, and they
that's
told us,
exactly how they explained it to her,
right.
to us. You know, when the pain kicks in, this is how she's going to be. Don't let the pain come.
There.
You know,
right.
we'd been there with her. We didn't want to let the pain come. Nobody, you know, she was going to die. We knew that. We wanted it to be peaceful.
I got it.
And that was my mother's wish, to die at home.
Kim, tell me what happened in the kitchen on the 10th of March.
Well, I was in the bedroom with my grandmother, and I heard them in the kitchen. And she's telling her, you know, you took her out of the nursing home. You shouldn't have took her out of the nursing home. She's going to die. She's going to bleed. You know, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And they were telling her, then leave. You know, that's fine. If you can't take it,
put your hand down, Ms.
leave.
Moore.
You know, and when I looked outside, she was slapping at my mother, and another one of my aunts stepped in. Well, she grabbed her and she threw her down to the floor. Alice threw my other aunt down to the floor. Her name was Billy.
Go ahead.
And then of course, I had walked in there in the middle of this, and my brother walked in, and she started screaming at my brother. And she was screaming obscenities that you would not believe. And she was, you know, then she started out the door, and my brother went out after her. Well, I went out after him. Then she coming out there, and she's telling me, you know, we need to just call an ambulance for Billy. You know, we need to just go. So I'm going back in the house, and I get the phone to call the police. And as I walk back outside, because I'm hearing screaming now back at the porch. And I'm like, well, I thought she was going to leave. She wasn't leaving, and it's because her daughter over there was telling her, you don't have to leave. They can't make you leave. This is your mama's house. You don't have to leave. You know, her daughter was put in the quarter, and she knows if you push her, she's going to lose it. You know, she has a history of violence and just psychotic behavior. And I look at her and I told her, just go, just get that out of here. You know, that's why I told her, just get that. And I'm pointing at her, and as I'm pointing at her, she grabs this arm, and she pulls me down. Her daughter steps between us, and she popped my arm down over her daughter's shoulder. It broke this bone up here into pieces. They had to go in and put a rod, I have a permanent rod in the middle of my bone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I was leaving and they attacked me. They didn't take my statement. The police didn't let me give a statement. My lawyer will testify to that. Why don't you call her?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alice Moore says her niece, Kimberly Kayla, had her falsely arrested for an assault. Kimberly says during an argument, Alice broke her arm.
What happened to Billy?
Billy was taken to the hospital also, and she had some sciatic nerve damage in her back.
She was taken to the hospital that day?
Yes. But Billy...
That was my kids' room, too, when they came over and stayed there.
He said they were in the boys' room, is what he said.
Yes.
My kids, when they come to visit me, they stay in that room.
No, that was the room I rented, ma'am.
Listen to me.
That's what he said.
You didn't say anything about a Smith & Wesson knife, did you?
No.
Good. All right. Goodbye.
Excuse you, may step out.
They're both drug dealers, both of them.
I never dealt no drugs to her. I never sold her any dope.
And trust me, if he says I beat the shit out of him, he's a wimp. Dude's a wimp.
She needs help.
Yeah.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ercolani versus Wilby. Step forward, please.
Casino worker Mary Ercolani is suing her deceased friend's husband, casino worker Alan Wilby, for a gambling debt incurred by his late wife. Alan says Mary enabled his wife's addiction.
Ms. Ercolani, it is your claim that Mr. Wilby owes you $4,000 for a debt that was incurred by his wife.
That is correct.
He says he owes you nothing. So you want to tell me about this debt?
About the 3rd of August, she called me at work.
Where do you work?
For casinos.
Where is that?
That's in Las Vegas.
So she called you at your place of business, at your work, at your
Yes.
job, and said what?
She said, I'm going to get an early out tonight. Why don't you come over and we'll play for a while?
Play what?
Gamble. Play the machines. I went over to the Aladdin, and she said to me, do you have your credit card? I said, yes, I do. She said, can you get me $4,000? We went to the cage. We purchased tokens there, our chips. I gave her the tokens for $3,000, which she cashed out and got cash for, and 1,000 cash.
And what did you discuss with her about this money?
Well, she immediately wrote me this check that I have right here.
I see what she's got.
And she said, I'm due an inheritance from my great uncle, I believe she said. And she said, well, as soon as I get my inheritance, I'll give you your money back. And she has borrowed off me through the years and has paid me back $200 or $300 a month, but it was never this large amount. Mm-hmm. And so she handed me that check, and she said, as soon as I get the inheritance, you'll get it. I said, I'm going on vacation. I need my money back before going on vacation in October. My family are coming, and I got to have this credit available for my vacation. She said, oh, you have it back. I'm sure I'll have it by the end of August or early September at the latest. You'll have
Fine.
it long before
Did you get it back in October?
No. I called her, and we talked in September. She called me, and she said, Mary, I apologize, but I don't have your money yet. One of the aunts and a cousin have contested it. But as soon as I get the money, I'll give you your money. Or I'll write the date on the check, then I could deposit it in my account. And that's what my plans was, to deposit this check.
I understand what your plan was, but unfortunately, Mr. Wilby's wife took her own life in November. Is that right, sir?
15th of November.
Had your wife had a history of depression?
Yeah, she was on, I don't know what it was, Prozac, I think.
Did she have a gambling problem?
Big gambling problem. I tried to get her to go to Gamblers Anonymous, which she did a few times. And she'd do good, and then every time she'd get with this lady, she'd start all over again. I tried to get her to stay away from her, but according to both of them, they were really
That's not a
best
true
friends.
fact. We didn't get together that often.
Well, you already told me that you lent her
times a
money
year
over.
was too much.
Shh. You already told me that you lent her money frequently and that she paid you back.
And I would leave and go home, and she would go out on her own.
I don't understand why you would give her $4,000. I'm not necessarily doubting that you gave her the money, but if you knew that Mr. Wilby was concerned that his wife had a gambling problem, why would you give her $4,000?
Why wouldn't I give it to her? She was
Because-
my best friend.
Well,
She
listen-
asked me for it. She needed it. I gave it to her.
Well, then that's your problem. I just asked you a question. You didn't answer the question. I said, why would you contribute to her gambling problem?
Because I'm a gambler also, ma'am.
Well, then you deal with the $4,000. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Yeah, this is case number 114 on the calendar, the matter of Swank versus Nagy. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Swank, you have a horse that probably had an accident or had some sort of surgery and only has 3 legs. Tell me how that happened.
She broke her leg, and they tried to fix it twice, and they couldn't repair the break. So I had a choice of either putting her down or having the leg removed, and I chose to have the leg removed.
How did she break the leg?
Just running around in the arena.
You have a picture of this horse?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. It's a beautiful horse.
Yes, she is.
How old was she when she broke her leg?
9.
What's the lifespan of a horse?
With an Arabian, it could be 30 years.
How's she doing?
She's doing great.
Good. So about a year and a half ago, you ordered a prosthetic leg. I assume that prosthetic leg from the defendant for your horse. It was fitted. You had given him a deposit for it. You claimed that it didn't fit the
Correct.
horse. So you returned it to him, only you returned it to him without the foot part. You kept the foot part.
That is correct.
And you had another prosthetic leg made?
I made the
You made
other
it
one.
yourself?
Yes, I did.
Out of what?
I used a cast to put on her leg, and then I used aluminum, you have the picture of it, to go over it, and then I used pipe clamps to hold that to the cast.
You mean in this device worked better than that device?
Yes, it did. I have a videotape that shows her walking with both legs. She's actually running with the leg that I made her, and she could barely walk with the leg that he made her.
Did you tell him about it?
Yes, I did. The problem was the leg didn't fit, and I sent it, the vet sent it back to him to be refitted, and when they sent it back to him to be refitted, he sent it back to the vet and then told the vet not to release it to me until I paid the remainder. We had an agreement that I had 30 days to pay the remainder. Also, we had an agreement that he was going to send me a contract stating that he would refit that leg for the remainder of the horse's life. Only thing he sent
Why
me,
did you keep the foot?
I used the foot to put on the bottom of the leg that I made. And
you can't do that.
Well,
you can't do that.
I'm suing him for $1,500. I actually gave him $2,000. I took the $500 out for the foot.
Well, show me where it says $500 was for the foot.
Right here.
That's all I want to take a look at. Mr. Nagy, did she ever sign this contract? I see that here there is an informed consent for use of a prosthetic device. And her copy, although originally signed, she crossed it out, December of 2001. Did she ever sign this document and send it back to you?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any sort of contract with her at all?
Judge, this was a verbal contract through the hospital, through the surgeon that I was working with at the time. The contract, we have the price for the prosthetic leg. There was to be a $2,000 deposit to build the leg, which is standard in the industry. We shipped the leg down for an initial fitting. It's quite common for a prosthetic to take several fittings for a human or a horse.
Right.
The leg was sent back for adjustment, and in 48 hours that it took us to make the adjustment, Ms. Swank removed her horse from the hospital and never left anything but a post office box for a forwarding address.
Why did you do that?
I didn't know they were going to take the leg off, and they made me drive home and get my temporary leg and bring it back so that I could take the horse home.
Oh.
The horse had gone home. She was ready to go home the day after she had her amputation.
Why didn't you allow this refitted leg to be refitted and pay him the balance?
Well, for one thing, the vet wouldn't let me have the leg or refit the leg. He wouldn't even try it on until I paid the balance. Mr. Nagy gave me 30 days to pay the balance.
That doesn't say that here.
No, that was our verbal. And that's what I was waiting for. I wanted him to send me a contract.
Did you have a verbal agreement that she didn't have to pay for the leg?
I believe I did say that I would give her 30 days to pay the balance. The problem arose when Ms. Swank removed the horse from the hospital owing a balance for veterinary services.
My veterinary bills were paid, Your Honor. I paid $20,000 in vet bills, and they were paid.
And you say that she had not paid the vet?
No, she hasn't. I have a statement from the veterinarian right here. It's actually just a spreadsheet, but it...
Well, let me take a look at it. It's very easy to call the vet. I have to.
The balance at the bottom is 00. It was written off.
It was a write-off of $997.
Right. I believe that part of the $997 includes $500 for the prosthetic foot.
So that was not paid?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Swank, you owed the vet money. You took your horse out owing the vet money. You have to pay the money. You did not. In any event, you can't get your money back. You made the leg. You took your horse out of the hospital. I mean, what are you supposed to do with this leg?
The horse was released.
You took the horse, it's not released, you took the horse out. What you do is then you get in touch with this gentleman and you say, I want to make arrangements with you to have this leg fitted. And if it didn't fit the first time, it didn't fit the second time, there may come a time when I'm going to send this back and I'm not going to either pay you the rest or I'm going to sue you for it. But you ordered the leg, it was sent back for a refitting. It is not unreasonable that it comes back to you, because that's what happened. It came back to have a refitting. At the time you took the horse home, you took off the foot that he had ordered and you put on your own leg. And then you had nothing else to do with him. That doesn't sound fair to me. He can't use this leg for anybody else.
Your Honor, I tried calling him 4 times and I sent him 2 letters and he refused to call me back. I wanted to work it out. I had no problem paying him. All I wanted from him was a contract stating that he would refit that leg for the entire life of the horse like he promised me. I had no problem paying for the leg.
Nowhere in here does it say that you have a lifetime guarantee of it being refitted, although he may do that. But you had this whole thing.
He gave that to me after I paid him. That was not something that was up front before I ordered the leg. It was after I ordered the leg that he sent that to me. And I asked him numerous times to explain that to me, and he refused to explain it to me.
Then you're supposed to be a more informed consumer. Madam, you crossed out the date here, so I have no idea. Just says December
on the top of it, you can
01.
see where it was faxed to me. And I sent him a check on the 4th.
So you sent him a check?
I sent him a check.
You sent him a check, and then you got this. You sent him the check in the mail?
Yeah, FedEx.
When you got this, did you call up and stop payment on the check?
No, I didn't.
Well, if you weren't satisfied with the agreement, why didn't you do that?
Well, I was a little desperate. My horse needed a leg.
That doesn't mean that you can breach this contract, Miss Swank, because you were desperate. That doesn't mean that you can breach
I had no intention of breaching the contract.
But you did. But you did, because if you didn't like the agreement that he faxed to you, don't pay him and say, don't make the leg. You chose not to do that. You said, I'm desperate. I need him to make that leg. So whether I like this agreement or not, because he sent it to you to sign, which you didn't do, and he went ahead and made the leg anyway. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And then you stiffed him. He provided a service for you. You didn't like the service. You took part of the property. You used part of the property. You used it in order to create your own leg, and now you want your money back. You're not going to get it.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
Your son or daughter-in-law racked up $1,100 sex phone bill. Yes.
I wasn't even aware that it was that expensive or anything like that.
Mr. Morgan.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michelle Swank says orthopedic farrier Brian Nagy owes her a refund for a prosthetic leg for her horse. Michelle says the one she made worked better.
Now, Mr. Nagy, my question to you, sir, is I understand that you have a counterclaim for the balance due on this leg.
Yes, Your Honor.
But for the fact that Ms. Swank had sued you for a return of her money, would you have counterclaimed?
I turned it over to collection agency, which is more my standard operating procedures.
When did you do that?
It was just a few months ago, actually, 4 months ago, something like that.
Well, it's sort of interesting. You don't have a written contract with her, do you?
No, this was all being done in good faith with a verbal contract, and if the leg is paid for, the fitting it's still good. I mean, This leg will be adjusted until it fits her horse perfectly. If it doesn't right now, if she takes it home and it doesn't fit, there's no...
She doesn't want it. She's made a makeshift leg using the foot that you provided to her.
Well, that's what I understand.
She's not going to pay you the balance, sir.
Well, it doesn't seem like it, Judge.
No. But you certainly don't owe her any money. I think that she had a responsibility, and I think that what happened was she had made a decision to save her horse, which was a wonderful thing. She was in the moment. She was stressed, and she needed it.
What?
And despite the fact that she didn't get something that she wanted 100% in a contract, which was that you were going to take care of this forever, she still let you go ahead with making the leg, which you did, and she took a piece of your work product, and she used it to create another device for her horse.
Yes, Your Honor.
She didn't do the right thing, and she's not going to get any money back.
I didn't think so.
Your case is dismissed. I hope you do well with collections.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What is our excuse? You may step out.
Technology has progressed since this leg was built.
Since this, I have found that the leg is inappropriate for a horse.
It's still perfectly fine for any horse.
I found on the internet another leg that really works well for horses.
When you're building something like a prosthetic leg, I get the whole payment up front.
I guess I'm out of leg.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Morgan versus Morgan, step forward, please.
Special ed teacher Debbie Morgan is suing her son, 25-year-old Jason Morgan, and his wife, 23-year-old Melissa, for the return of her property and for running up $1,100 in porn website charges.
Mrs. Morgan, the defendant is your son, and this is his wife.
Yes.
And according to what I've read in the complaint, they needed a place to live. You told them that they could move in with you in your home. After a short period of time, they had the run of the house, and you decided to live elsewhere. And you had an arrangement with them that they were going to pay the mortgage on the house and take care of utilities on the house.
Right.
Your problem is, and what your lawsuit suggests is, that they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Right.
You evicted them, and when they left, they took all of your property. In addition to that, your son or daughter-in-law racked up $1,100 sex phone bill.
Yes.
Mr. Morgan.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's deal with the telephone first, because that's the easiest one, sir.
Yeah, that's, I wasn't even aware that it was that expensive or anything like that.
Mr. Morgan.
No, it was some stuff on the internet.
Is that your bill?
Yes, ma'am.
See how easy that is?
Yeah.
How much was the bill, Mrs. Morgan?
It's $1,100.
Let me take a look at it.
I had to charge the money, Your Honor, to pay the $581 because the lady threatened me, saying that she would tell the school district that I was on porn sites. I don't have a computer. I've never been on porn sites. I was in fear that I would lose my job, so I paid him.
Melissa.
Yes.
I'm going to talk to you because I think maybe you're a little more together than your husband. Was he drinking this morning?
No, my
All
husband doesn't drink.
Good. So then he should be all together, right, Melissa? Yes. Perfect. Now, let's talk about what happened when you caused your son and his wife to be evicted, Mrs. Morgan. Tell me what happened.
After the phone calls and whatever, they told me they would pay so much a month. They weren't able to. They didn't. That was fine.
No.
Sir, listen to me. If you are not currently on any mind-altering substance, what I want you to do is understand where you are. You're in a courtroom. It's my courtroom. One person talks, everybody else is quiet. When I speak, everybody is quiet. She has her turn, then you have your turn. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Jason told me that he opened up a house payment and that I was late. I was like 2 weeks late on the house payment, which I was, because I had paid.
She was 3 months late.
Oh, never.
Shh. Melissa.
Sorry.
You hear what I said to him? Goes for you. Go ahead.
I've never been that late on any bill in my life, but because they were late on utilities, I was trying to pay the utilities because they were in my name, and then when they paid me for the utilities, I was going to pay the house payment. Jason told me that he thought I was just blowing the money and he wasn't going to pay the rent, and he hoped that I lost my home.
Was he paying you the money and you were paying the mortgage?
Right.
I see.
Right.
What's the mortgage payment?
$506 almost. And then with taxes and insurance, that's all I was charging them, is what I had to pay. When he told me that he hoped I lost my home, I went and filed an eviction on him. During that eviction, Melissa was there. I did ask the judge that my property be left in the same, that it was how it was, and all my furniture, because I not only left the utilities on in my name, I left all my belongings there. That's the eviction that I was awarded with $1,200 that they owed me. The judge said if they did take my property, it would be another court matter.
So the judge awarded you $1,200 for rent and damages. Is that right?
Just for rent and court costs?
No.
Oh, well,
Rent
I didn't see where it said
and
damages.
$20 for court costs.
Okay.
Rent and damages were $1,200. $20 for court costs. Okay. Now I'll hear you, sir.
All right, well, like she said, at the beginning, she was staying there with us, but we didn't run her out of the house. She left the home. She left the home because her and my father were in the middle of a divorce, and I was put in the middle of protecting her from him. This wasn't me pushing her out. We took over her bills so that she could get an apartment because she was in fear for her own personal safety. It wasn't like she stipulated in her little, thing she wrote to you or whatever. That's not the truth. After I moved all of her furniture for her to her new apartment and went and helped her get it on there and arrange it for her and everything, she had told me, you guys can just have that stuff. But that was whenever she was on her bingo high or whatever. She's broke now. She wants all of her
Morgan,
stuff back.
let me ask you these following questions.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
mother moved into an apartment. How large an apartment did she move into?
1 bedroom, I believe.
And what
Let
did
me
she
finish.
use to furnish the 1-bedroom apartment?
She bought all new furniture.
Is that correct?
I kept my bedroom set. I
Did you
bought a new, some new furniture, not all new.
Okay. But your apartment was fully furnished?
Yes.
Did you sign a lease in that apartment?
No, it's a month-to-month tenancy.
Where do you live now?
In the apartment.
So you're still there?
Mm-hmm.
Who lives in the house?
My little sister.
Right now, my daughter lives in the house. I'm trying to help her the same I helped you, Jason.
Okay. And how old is your daughter?
You helped me a
21.
lot.
Hi, Jason.
You would still be there, Jason.
What?
Miss Morgan, may be annoyed with your son, but I want to tell you something. This lawsuit doesn't have a ring of truth to it to me. If you moved,
Okay.
listen, even with your big mouth, you seem to be ahead of the game, so why don't you close it? I help your children, and you're moving into a 1-bedroom apartment. You're not living in your house anymore, and you got a lot of old furniture. You might say to him, look, I'm moving into an apartment. I'm going to get some old stuff, but as soon as you're finished with it, I want it back.
I did.
Listen to me carefully. I don't believe it. I don't believe you. I think you started a new life in a new apartment. You went out and bought some new furniture. You took your bedroom set, your son and his wife, and I don't know, you have a couple of kids?
Yes.
And you're expecting another one?
Yes.
You said to them, take the house, just make sure that you make the mortgage payment. You had a fight about something. I don't believe that there was ever any arrangement that they were going to return the furniture to you. I don't believe that at all.
That's not a point.
You owe your mother $1,125 for your sex phone calls. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,125. The action for the furniture return is dismissed. That's all.
Brand new laptop.
Go ahead.
Your Honor. What had happened was she pawned her computer approximately 2 months prior to this incident, along with her digital camera. And my ex-girlfriend's grandmother felt sorry for her, went to the pawn shop, got it out of there, and held on to it till she gives her the money to, basically get it back.
So she pawned it?
She pawned it originally, and after repeated phone calls, I've called her at least 20, 30 times, left messages for her, to give me a call back, let's make an arrangement, to pay this money back to me. Never heard back from her. So I contacted my ex-girlfriend's grandmother. I said, is there a way I can get the computer from you to maybe sell it, to maybe recover some of my money? And she says, well, let me call her and tell her that this is what I'm doing. I said, that's fine. And I paid $300 to her, my ex-girlfriend's grandmother, to get her computer and her digital camera. I called her. I said, I have your computer, I have your digital camera. If you want to come and pay me the money that you owe me, it's sitting right here. Otherwise, I'm going to try to sell it to recover some of my money. Never heard back from her again. So,
did you sell it?
I sold the computer for $325. I still have the digital camera. I brought it with me to give it back to her.
Well, so you sort of resorted to self-help, sir. You've made this case, which was a relatively simple case, very, very complex.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand, Mr. Zai?
Yes, yes, I understand.
You should have come to me before you resorted to self-help, sir, because this convoluted story that you tell me doesn't make sense to me, Mr. Zai. It's a very dumb thing to do. And since you've complicated the situation, there's very little I can do to help you. I mean, this lady, I know, has a very busy corporate schedule, but she doesn't know whether she's a foot or horseback. I don't know whether you got full value for the computer when you sold it for $300. You can't do what you did. You created a problem by complicating the situation by resorting to your own form of self-help. Do you understand?
Yes, I
can't
understand.
help you. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 40 on the calendar in the matter of Dickinson versus Irwin. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Dickinson, Miss Irwin is your boyfriend's mother.
Yes.
I assume this is the boyfriend.
Yes, he is.
How long have you been his girlfriend?
We're actually broken up right now. We were dating for about a month.
Not dating anymore?
No.
Any particular reason?
We were good friends, and I didn't want to ruin our friendship.
Okay. It is your complaint that Mrs. Irwin, for no good reason, broke your cell phone.
Yes, she did.
And you want her to pay for it.
Yes.
And Miss Irwin says you were an uninvited guest in her home, and that precipitated this incident with the cell phone. So why don't you tell me when this happened?
This happened in February, the 21st. Ryan and I were dating at the time. We had gotten back to his house. We were watching TV, relaxing.
Where were you watching TV?
Up in his living room. And Bernice came home.
Bernice, that's you.
Yes. And she came home yelling and freaking out on Ryan. She began to yell at him even more and put him down.
What was she saying?
You're a loser, you're good for nothing. And then she began to hit him, smack him in the face.
What did he say to her?
Nothing. Nothing was really said. She was just like, you're a loser. And Ryan was just simply not saying anything because I was present. And when she came into the living room, she was yelling at me. And then she had hit Ryan across the face. And then she did it a few more times. And I told her that if she had kept hitting him, that I was going to call the cops because I did not feel comfortable whatsoever. She looked at me and said, I'll do whatever I want. This is my house. Hit him again, and that's when I had called for the police assistance.
Okay, so you used your cell phone to call the police?
Yes, I did.
Okay, what happened next?
When I was on the phone with the police, she was still yelling at Ryan, and they got it on tape and everything like that. And I had said I need police assistance to this address. And then she had noticed I was on the phone with the cops, and then she had attacked me. And I have pictures here of the bruises from when she grabbed my arm and my wrist.
Is that when your phone was broken?
Yes.
Well, tell me how it got broken, Miss Dickinson.
I was on the phone, and she had grabbed my arm, and then she was fighting with me. I was telling her to let go of me, not to touch me. And then she grabbed the top half of my cell phone and snapped it off, and opened her front door and threw it outside in the snow.
Okay. Now I'll see the police report, please.
Okay. I also have pictures of the bruises. Would you like to see them?
Yes.
And there's also pictures of my cell phone in there.
All right, I've seen this Advanced Amino Formula all over TikTok, and honestly, I didn't believe the hype. But I actually tried it for 14 days, and here's what surprised me. By day 3, the first thing I felt was energy, real energy. Not caffeine, but like my body finally woke up. This formula has all 8 essential amino acids, the ones your body literally can't make on its own. And I noticed 2 big things. Faster recovery, soreness that normally lasts 2 days was gone in hours. Better focus, I didn't expect that.
And I'm not kidding. My skin actually looked better. Aminos help your collagen. Didn't know that. I wanted to use with reticular skins over the Visayas skin is to sacrifice in their face.
If you want more energy, better recovery, or even to look healthier, this actually works. I'm sticking with it. I put the link in description. Check it out if you want the same results.
Is this the only police report that you have?
Yes, there was no police report written. It was just a log entry.
Okay. Step up, please. Your first name is Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you, Ryan?
18.
You're not living in your mother's home anymore, is that right?
Yes.
Who are you living with now?
I'm staying with friends now.
How long has it been since you haven't been getting along with your mother?
As long as I can remember.
When did you ultimately move out of the house?
She kicked me out a couple weeks ago. after she got arrested for domestic assault on me.
Why don't you get along with your mother?
Because she's crazy.
I also have the police log from her arrest, if you'd like to see that.
I would. Are you going to school, Ryan?
No, not right now.
You working?
No, not currently.
How are you supporting yourself?
I really haven't been.
Okay. All right, Miss Irwin, what kind of work do you do?
I'm a store manager.
Were you working on the 21st of February?
I was.
What were your hours of employment?
On that particular day, I worked till about 6 p.m.
Did you go directly from the store home?
I did not.
Where did you go?
I went to a friend's house, and then I came home.
What time did you get home?
Approximately 7 to 7:30 p.m.
And you came home and you found your son and his girlfriend watching television?
They were in my living room. My house was a total disaster. Ryan was not allowed to have any guests at my home without my permission, which he continued to do so, and I was quite angry.
Had you ever met this young lady before?
Once or twice, yes.
Where?
One time at my house, and another time she was leaving my house for a few minutes. That was it.
You never had any problem with her?
No, I didn't.
So what happened when you came home on the 21st?
I'd asked Ryan why he had a guest in my home. We'd had many problems in the past with him having company, and I told him he was not allowed to have anybody in my home without my permission. Ryan got very angry at me and started swearing, cursing, calling me several names. He then spit in my face, literally, and I slapped him across the face once. At that point, Jamie had gotten off my sofa and started calling me names that I will not even repeat, and I asked them to leave my house. They refused.
Shh. Yes?
She did say, threatened she was going to call the police. I, at that time, told her if indeed she called the police, my son probably would have been arrested because he was on probation.
For what?
Numerous things, assault and battery, disturbing the peace. He was on probation for assault and battery on a police officer.
That's serious stuff.
It had
Ryan?
been serious stuff.
That's serious stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so she called the police.
Yeah, I didn't know she was on the phone. I had just got done telling her if indeed she called the police.
There was a lot of screaming going around, so
Yes, there was.
Everybody was screaming. I want to know how her phone got broken.
She got on the phone with somebody, I'm not sure who, saying that I was abusing my son, which was not true.
That was with the police.
My son had just spit in my face, and I did slap him across the face after he had called me several vulgar names. One time I did slap him across the face. Yes, I did.
I want to know how her phone got broken.
Well, she was on the phone, and I, at that point, once again told her, if you want to make the phone call, go outside. I need you to get out of my house. And she refused to leave, so I took the phone out of her hand. And as far as I know, it was the top part of her cell phone that did snap off. And at that point, I threw it outside to make them leave my house. I'd asked them several times to leave.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Have you ever been in trouble with the law?
Nope, never.
He has been.
I understand that.
Set your sights a little higher. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I have a new
Don't say
boyfriend.
anything, Ryan.
And later today,
Lester's a stubborn dog, there's no doubt about it.
I have a very stubborn dog, but she has been very, very well trained.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jamie Dickinson says her ex-boyfriend's mother owes for breaking her cell phone. Bernice Irwin claims Jamie was trespassing on her property.
Okay. There are a couple of things that I don't quite understand, Miss Irwin, and I think that probably you would have been more prudent if when you came home and found Ryan there watching television with his girlfriend, you waited until she left and then confronted him. As far as I've heard, they weren't doing anything untoward. They were sitting and watching television in your living room. So when you came home and started to go off on him in front of his girlfriend, especially a kid that you'd had trouble with and that clearly has a temper, that probably wasn't the most prudent thing to do. And then there was a lot of yelling and screaming. However, Miss Dickinson was an invited guest to your home. She was invited by your son, who lives there, or did then. And whatever argument you were having with your son, and I'm not going to get into slapping him in the face or screaming or yelling or bad names, I'm not getting into that. The only thing that's before me is whether you're responsible to buy her a new cell phone. I believe her when she says that she told you she was going to call the police, and I believe you knew she was calling the police because that's what she said she was going to do. And at that time, if you grabbed her by the arm and grabbed her cell phone and snapped it off and then threw it outside, you're responsible to buy her a new cell phone. It seems to me that there was an altercation in your home and it was getting out of hand. It was a good thing that she was calling the police. So why would you be angry? So, how much was the cell phone?
It is $199.99. I have the paper from the website singular.com.
Okay, can I see it, please? And the cell phone. Who is this person?
Carol, a friend of mine.
Was she there that evening?
She wasn't there that evening.
Okay. This is one of these cute little phones that takes pictures?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't take pictures. Okay, that's all you're suing for, the cost of the cell phone. Anything else you want to tell me?
No, that about covers everything.
What do you do for a living, Miss Dickinson?
I babysit, and I used to work at CVS. I had just quit my job, though, because I'm still in high school, and I'm graduating this year, so it was kind of hard doing both.
Have you ever been in trouble with the law?
Nope, never.
He has been.
I understand that.
Lots of times. Set your sights a little higher. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I have a new
Don't say
boyfriend.
anything, Ryan. You've got a little ways to go to get your act together, young man. Somebody who's 18 years old, who's not going to school, who's not working, who's not supporting themselves, who's got an arrest history, according to your mother, that's lengthy, is not going down the right path. The yellow brick road is eluding you, Ryan. You're going to have to find it. Otherwise, you're going to be dead by the time you're 30. That would be a shame, right? Be smart. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $199. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm a little confused about the whole thing, actually. I don't really believe that I broke Jamie's cell phone.
I was not brought up that way. I was brought in a very well-nurtured home where no violence is present.
I did ask her to leave my home along with my son.
Mom overreacts a whole lot.
I'm really hoping that we can be friends yet again, mother and daughter. Mother and son, I'm sorry.
That'd be wonderful if it could, but I don't know if that could ever happen.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Horn Torres versus Cunningham. Step forward, please.
25-year-old homemaker Deanna Horn Torres is suing dog trainer Brian Cunningham for injuring her dog Buster during a session. Brian says he did nothing out of the ordinary.
Miss Torres?
Yes.
And this is Buster?
Yes.
And Buster was behaving badly. How old is Buster?
He's 4 months.
Where did you get him?
We got him from a breeder.
What kind of dog is he?
He's a boxer.
Did the breeder tell you that boxers are hard to train?
No, she didn't.
Is he hard to train?
He's doing better, but he is a little difficult. Yes, he is.
He doesn't look interested in what's going on here, I'll tell you that right now. Well, according to what your complaint states, because you were having some difficulty in training Buster on your own, you asked your vet for a recommendation.
Yes.
Had you used this vet before?
Yes.
You think that the vet that you used is a good one?
Yes.
And your vet recommended Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
And said he was a good dog trainer?
Yes. Uh-huh.
You made an agreement with him. I think his whole fee was $525, and you paid him, and it is your claim that he hurt your dog during the training sessions and you want a full refund.
Yes.
The $525 that you paid Mr. Cunningham was for how many sessions?
He didn't give me an amount. He said he would come to my house until I was completely satisfied. He didn't tell me how long it would take.
I offer everybody, it's a 6-week course or until the dog is completely trained.
What kind of trained? You mean potty trained, crate trained?
Housebreaking, chewing, digging, obedience is how we do it.
What if you get a really dumb dog?
There aren't really very many dumb dogs. It's just folks, you've got to follow up with the instruction I give you.
What about stubborn dogs?
Very stubborn sometimes. Buster's a stubborn dog, there's no doubt about it.
I have a very stubborn dog. But she has been very, very well trained.
That's good.
All right, Ms. Torres, tell me what happened.
He had came 3 times to my house. The first day, everything went fine. The second time he came, there was a pink mark around the dog's neck, and he told me it was because the dog was a white dog and it would go away. And it did. Within 2 hours, it was gone. And so the next time he came, the dog ran under the bed to hide. Well, whenever he came out...
That's all right. You can leave him alone. He's fine.
As soon as he put the collar around the dog's neck, the dog snapped at him. And so when he was being rough with him, we asked him, why are you being so rough? And he said that he had to do it to keep him from snapping at people. So we said, okay, well,
You mean the dog bit the inside of his mouth?
Yes. And so at that time, we ended the session. He took the collar off the dog, and the dog ran underneath the bed. And when I went to the dog, I had noticed the injuries that I do have pictures of. And my husband talked to Brian later on the phone and told Brian that we didn't want his services anymore. We couldn't have him abuse our dog.
Okay, so let me see the photographs that you took. Okay, Mr. Cunningham, I'll hear you.
Your Honor, I've been training dogs for 17 years. I have 2 witnesses to tell you what kind of trainer I am.
Tell me your name.
Barbara Buquay.
Step up, please. Are you just a satisfied customer?
Oh, I'm absolutely satisfied.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a Maltese, Sophie.
Little one?
She's very small, yes. She's about 5 pounds.
Does she bark?
Well, actually, she does not bark. No, not usually.
Good.
Yes, I know. I'm so happy with her, and I'm so happy with Brian.
Okay. You, sir?
My name is Victor McDougall, and Brian has trained 2 dogs for me. The first one was Tara, and she had a little problem with liking to chew on furniture and stuff. And, you know, Brian helped me train her and get her out of that. And most people would tell me that, boy, I wish my kids listened as well as my dog. So, yeah, so that's always good to hear.
Okay. Have a seat. So this is my problem, Mr. Cunningham. I believe that you are a good dog trainer.
Thank you.
And I believe that because their vet that they have tremendous confidence in recommended you.
Yes.
And you bring 2 witnesses who I have no reason to doubt that say that you've been wonderful with their animals. This didn't work out. Whether you pulled a little too hard, whether the dog bruises easily, I don't know what happened. But these people did not cause this injury to the dog. I can understand they're being upset. Does it sound like you're losing yet, sir?
No, it doesn't.
Good. Perfect. Would you give these to Mr. Cunningham, please? We have to know when to...
Okay.
I'll take them back now, please. Now, you have a whole bunch of satisfied customers. And I don't think that, based upon what these people tell me, that this is standard fare for you, because otherwise their vet would not have recommended you. And you have satisfied customers. So if these people are not satisfied, you should have given them back their money and said, in 17 years, I never had this kind of problem. I don't want this kind of problem now. My time is too valuable.
Your Honor,
yes,
if I
Mr.
may,
Cunningham.
I believe that I should be paid for my time. If I show up 4 times and they refuse to accept any of my, I understand that. The dog, you know what, here's the thing, had they been working the dog every week, only 10 minutes a day, that would not have been the case
Mr. Cunningham,
ever.
you know how kind I was just being to you before, a moment ago? I was being kind to you because like 10 million people are going to watch this. A lot of them have dogs. So I was trying to be kind and say, you're a wonderful dog trainer.
Well, I am.
This was an aberration. You should have just said, going to return your money, and that's it. But since you don't seem to get it, what I'm going to tell you is this, sir. If you went to their house first time and then came back for the next session and you found that they weren't following your direction,
Yes.
at that point you could have said, just a minute, I can't work this way. I'm not going to treat this dog in any way that's
in any way
that's rough, that's going to leave this kind of bruising. Here's your money back, not the 4th time you came to the house, but the 2nd time you came to the house and said, I can't work with you people. I could work with that dog, but I can't work with you. So here's your money back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $525. Clearly, this dog is not intimidated by anything, not even my voice.
No, ma'am.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, this is case number 30 on the matter. Okay, Your Honor, this is case number 30 in the matter of Rav Giala versus Roberts.
Thank you.
Get a little tongue-tied now and then. The parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
What's your first name?
Jennifer.
How old are you, Jennifer?
I'm 18. I just turned 18 3 days ago.
Order.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you, Mr. Roberts?
23.
What's your first name?
Raymond.
Jennifer, Raymond was your boyfriend.
Yep.
You claim he owes you some money. Not a whole lot of money. $300 some odd.
Yep.
You said he owes you the money for the following 2 items. You gave him $100 in which to put down as a deposit for the limousine for your senior prom.
That's right.
And you had an argument, and he kept the money, and he didn't take you to the prom. And you acknowledge that you kept the $100.
I guess I did.
And then you say that over the course of your relationship, you sold candy for school, and he took your candy money. And about that, Mr. Roberts says, she took me out for dinner, and we went places together.
That's not true.
I'm just telling you what he says. That's his answer. Then you say that he came to your house when you weren't home with a police officer and took a Christmas gift that he had bought you.
That's right.
Which was?
Supposedly it was a stereo. I did buy a stereo, but it was not a gift.
A stereo that was in her house.
A stereo that was at her house.
And you took that and you want the value of that back, or the stereo back.
Yep.
You say it was a Christmas gift.
Yep, it was.
Now, Raymond says that you owed him money for a Sprint bill.
That's not true.
Just telling you what he says. And that he merely was collecting on that. That's what the $100 was for?
Yeah,
as well as the stereo.
The stereo, no. The stereo was mine. I was taking it back.
And Raymond is counterclaiming. He said because you and your mother sort of overreacted to a little argument you were having and had him arrested for kidnapping you.
He was never arrested.
Shh. And he was forced to defend these charges temporarily, right?
Right.
How old was she when you started to date her, Raymond?
17.
And how old were you?
At the time I was 22.
Not terrible, not terrific. What did she owe you money for?
She owes me money for a Sprint bill for the 2 months.
Now, how is it that you're paying her Sprint bill?
I have 2 phones, and I let her use one of my other phones. And we agreed that...
Just a minute. You got a phone for yourself.
Yes, I've got
And
a
you
phone.
gave her a phone.
Yes, under my name.
And when did you do that? How long ago?
I think it might have been sometime in October. I might have given her the phone, September, October.
She was 17.
Correct.
And you had an agreement with her.
Yes.
And what was your agreement?
That I would split the bill in half. I'd pay my half, she'd pay her half.
That's not right.
So what you're telling me is you had a verbal contract with her.
Correct.
You can't.
Can't.
Right. She's not old enough. She's not old enough to make that contract. She has to be 18 in order to make a contract that's valid and binding. So, Raymond, that's one of the downsides of dating a younger woman.
I'm learning that now.
So she owes you diddly.
Okay.
So let's start with you owe her $100 for the limousine.
Okay.
So $100, Jennifer, is on your side.
Yep.
Now, I don't want to hear about the candy money. I want you to forget the candy money. If you were dumb enough to give him candy money or to spend candy money, I don't want to hear about it. Yes, you want to say something? It sounded like you were winning the candy money.
No, she still has belongings of mine at her house.
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
We are now on the stereo
All right.
that she says was a Christmas present, and you said was just yours.
This is fine.
When did you get the stereo?
Christmas Eve was put in my house, and my mom was actually there. And he actually said to her, you know, this is a Christmas gift. I bought it for her.
And it was in your house starting Christmas time?
Yep.
When did you take it out of the house?
I think it was like March.
So, December to January, January to February, February to March. It was in her house for 3 months.
Correct.
Who do you live with?
My grandparents.
Do you have your own room?
Yes.
You have a stereo?
No.
So if you bought the stereo in December, I assume that that's what the receipt says, that it was purchased in December?
Correct.
What date in December?
The 17th, which she was with me.
If it was purchased in December and you don't have a stereo in your room, why didn't you take it to your house?
I was letting her use it.
Baloney. Let me see the bill. You have the perks of a younger woman, you have to have the plagues of a younger woman. Plague is she's not old enough to make a contract. Okay, so this whole thing cost $189?
Correct.
Where's the stereo now?
At my house.
In your?
In my room.
In your room?
In my room.
Where it would have been from the very beginning if it was bought for you. Now, a couple of other questions just for my own information, sir. What did Jennifer get you for Christmas?
Electric shaver and a couple of shirts.
A couple of shirts?
Yes.
What did you get for Jennifer for Christmas? See what I mean? Got where I'm going?
Yeah.
Raymond? Got where I'm going?
Yes, I do.
Good. So we have $289 on your side, because now Raymond gets it. Right, Raymond?
Yes.
Didn't think fast enough.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get to your counterclaim.
Okay.
You had an argument in the car.
Correct.
What date?
March 5th to be exact.
And the argument was about your being cheap?
If you want to put it that way.
What?
If you want to put it that way.
Well, that's what it was about. You're being cheap. You're mooching off her. I mean, I read the complaint.
No, I wasn't mooching off her. I was just asking her for, simple money for the bill. That's all.
That's what she was complaining. Don't play with paper around me. So you're having the argument in the car.
Correct.
And what happened?
We got in a major argument about money, both the Sprint bill and everything. And she said, I'm not going to pay for the bill. I don't have to pay for the bill. I was like, well, you used the phone. I think you should be responsible for the charge if you're going to use the phone. And she said no. And I says, fine. You want to be that way towards me? I will take the limo money, and I'll use that limo money to cover your part of the bill since you want to pay me the money. And we'll take it from there. It'll be fine. Well, from that point on, she decided to call her mother and say I was threatening her, made a huge big deal out of everything. She said, bring me home, bring me home, bring me home. I said, fine, I'll bring you home. When she told me she wasn't going to pay the bill, when she was on the phone with her mother, I actually called Sprint, and I had the phone shut off right then and there. And I guess that's when her mother panicked and decided to call the state police and the cops, and I had the cops.
That was really stupid of you, Raymond.
Yeah.
Girl is talking to her mother, right? So her mother knows she's safe, she's well. You pick up your cell phone and you call Sprint and you say, cut off the other number?
If that was my phone.
I was...
How can I shut it off?
Listen, don't speak.
I
I'm
was
not talking to you.
All right.
I was not expecting them to shut off right then and there, because I didn't think they could shut off
What
the
did you
phone
say to
with phone
them
service.
to have them shut it off right then and there?
I asked them if they could shut off the service. And basically you can't have incoming or outgoing calls.
And they said okay?
They said fine, but I didn't think they could do it during a phone call. My mistake.
Well, you found out that they could.
Yeah, I did, the hard way.
Tell me what happened. Were you arrested? Were you charged with anything?
No, I was not arrested.
Well, then what happened? So
Just
what
the
do you...
embarrassment of a false restraining order because...
Okay, so they took out a restraining order against you?
Took out a restraining order on me a couple days later.
You have a copy of the allegations that you made in the restraining order? Raymond.
Yes.
You ever been arrested before?
A long time ago.
How long ago?
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. Yeah.
Nothing since.
Nothing.
You work? You have
Yes, I work.
Nice job?
Decent job.
What do you do?
Actually, I'm training to be a manager at McDonald's right now.
So you're working at McDonald's?
Correct.
Okay. You don't look like a bad guy, Raymond. You don't look like you have a bad temper. Does he have a bad temper?
Oh, yes.
Never touched you, did he?
No.
You have a bad temper?
No.
Huh?
No.
She have a bad temper?
She has her moments. she has her moments that she can
when I'm
flip
with
out.
you.
Oh.
Well, either you have
Oh,
a
hey.
temper or you don't have a temper. You understand? Daughter sometimes has a temper?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Do you think you overreacted to this a little bit?
I don't. I was scared if he shut off my cell phone.
Well, see, Raymond, that was your mistake. Do you understand?
Yes.
That was really your mistake. Aside from the fact that when this happened, she was 17. Dating a minor is an issue. I can imagine how her mother felt. She's talking to her daughter. Her daughter's a 17-year-old idiot who's in the car, is having a fight about whatever. And all of a sudden, no, don't speak. And all of a sudden, that conversation is interrupted and she can't get back to her daughter. One day you'll have a daughter. You will understand what that must feel like. You understand?
Yes.
The charges were dropped on this protective order?
Yeah. 2 weeks later on the date that we're supposed to, see if it was going to get extended or not, it got dropped.
Right. Because everybody got cooler. Good. Okay. So, Raymond, next time you'll be smarter. Next time. Pick on somebody your own age. You'll be much happier. Look at their birth certificate. Make sure that they're 18 or over before you make a contract with them. Understood?
Understood.
Well, you get $289. $100 for the limo. $189 for his Christmas present that he took back. You, on your counterclaim, get nothing but a good lesson. All right? Thank you very much. Two nice people. Move on with your life. Have a happy life.
Please excuse. You may step out.
He was a very controlling guy, and I just figured put it on national television to see the whole world how controlling he is.
It's okay. It sounds fair. My mistake.
I didn't like him from the beginning because she was only 17.
My mother doesn't know how to stay out of things.
When he wanted her to go somewhere, she had to do it.
She's always trying to tell me what to do.
If he didn't want her to go, she couldn't do it.
Not seeing a 23-year-old again.
I didn't like it.
House cleaner Pamela Earle is suing ex-boyfriend, painter Brian Mays, for an assault. Brian is countersuing for the return of his belongings.
Quiet in the courtroom, please.
Now, this is case number 140 on the calendar in the matter of Earl versus Mays. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Miss Earl, you and the defendant were sort of in a relationship, I gather, and you moved in with him along with, I think, your children. It is your claim that he became abusive, that you had to flee the apartment, that he owes you for rent because you paid the rent, that he assaulted you, you want to be compensated, that he kept some of your personal property, you want it back. Mr. Mays says that he was really nothing but nice to you, that you had a drug problem. Is that right?
Yes.
And that you were incarcerated at least twice when you were living with him, that he took care of your children, he enrolled them in school, that on the day of the alleged assault, you in fact assaulted him. He's got the police reports to prove it. And he is counterclaiming because he says that when you left the apartment, you stole some property that belonged to him. When did you meet Mr. Mays, Miss Earl?
In December at court. We met at the courthouse.
You met at the courthouse?
Yes, we did. I was moving from my condo. I had just sold it, and I was looking for a place to live, and me and Mr. Mays were kind of dating, but we weren't, like, going out together.
You met him in December. When did you move in with him?
In February. Me and my 2 children moved in with him.
How old are your children?
12 and 13 at the time.
What kind of a drug problem do you have?
I don't anymore. I did have a glass, speed, meth, and so does the defendant.
Where is the father of these 2 children?
In Fullerton. They live in Fullerton. My children are with their father right now.
Good. Are they there pursuant to a court order?
Now they are, yes.
Now, what was your arrangements with regard to rent? Your rent was $450 a month, according to your complaint?
Yes, ma'am.
And you paid him the rent for April, according to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened in April.
My birthday was on the 6th of April. We went to Vegas. We had returned. Me and Brian were having a lot of problems.
Would you look at me?
We were doing drugs at the time. I mean, I must admit I was fully into the drugs with the defendant at the time. I had recently sold my house, so I did have quite a bit of money. The night before in question, all this happened, I had went to the bank in the evening and took out, I believe it was approximately $2,500. I went out that evening and spent like $1,000 on drugs.
Who were your children?
That's a good question. They were with their father at the time. They had returned that night when I had come home. I was very sick at the time. I didn't even do anything. I was very sick. I came in the house and I pretty much laid down. That whole evening, Brian tried to start fights with me. He knew I had money or he knew I had something, or whether money, drugs, I'm not sure. When I had gotten up that morning to get my kids ready for school, I had parked my car in front of the house instead of in our driveway in the back. And I went to go move my car and get my money. I had a lot of problems with him. I
don't want to hear about all your problems. You left your money in the car? Is that what you're telling me?
So when I came back in, he grabbed me by the throat, took my money. We were fighting. He held me down. If I remember right, I got a couple good punches in there because he did hold me. I mean, I think I did get it. So he grabbed the phone, dialed 911. And the bottom line is he totally beat me up. This guy is 6'2". He beat me up, took my money.
Report?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see the police report?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't have the report, do you?
I was not there.
You have photographs of your injuries?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
No, I'm talking to her. Do you have
I
photographs?
tried to get him. I couldn't get him through the courthouse, through my public defender.
You were charged with assault? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, and I was arrested, but they dropped charges.
But you were arrested?
Yes, definitely.
Well, this is a copy of an incident that happened on April 23rd.
It must be some of the other paperwork that you have there.
Yeah, well, this has to do with Miss Earl assaulting a police officer on April 23rd after she attempted to get her children out of school. And there was a restraining order. You understand that there was a restraining order at that time preventing you from being within 100 yards of your children?
Yes, but I did not know that at the time.
Well, then you knew it. You found out.
Yes, I did.
All right, good. Here we go, on Tuesday, April 8th.
Yes, ma'am.
There we go. Well, your 2 sons say that they heard Mr. Mays beg you to please move your car that you had parked in the street so that he could get his car out of the driveway to go to work. Begged you over and over again. You were so blitzed out on speed, you probably don't remember that. But your two sons remember that you hit him twice. He hit you not once. That's according to your own sons.
I know.
All
It was
right.
6
So
o'clock
what do
in
you
the
want?
morning.
What do you want from me?
My kids did not see him grab me by the neck and grab my purse and take
Miss
my
Earl,
money from me.
Miss Earl, if you want to have a clear picture of what happens, you have to have a clear mind.
Yes.
When you are living your life in a drug-induced stupor, which you were on the night of April 8th.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't rely on anything that you say to me. Do you understand?
Okay.
Good. So I don't know what it is that you want. You're not going to get any money for an assault because the only thing that I have is a police report indicating that you assaulted him. That's all I have.
You can't tell just by looking at this guy he can beat the crap out of me?
I want to tell you something else. When somebody is spinning around the world on speed, they think they have the strength of 10 people. According to your own sons, he stood up and said to you, hit me if you have to. You hauled off and you hit him once and then you punched him again on the other side of his face. That's what your two sons said. He certainly, according to the police, has a history of domestic violence.
Oh, yeah, he was arrested. He was arrested right
So
then
were
and
you.
there, but not
You
then
were also arrested 2 weeks later in school when you made a scene and assaulted a couple of cops who went to get you away from your children's school.
I was never assaulted, no cops. I had
sure
never.
you were. You want me to read what the police officers say?
Please, yes.
Oh, sure. I'll be
I've
delighted.
never heard it.
I'll be delighted. Officers Tucker and Harris arrested Earl for her involvement in their case. On my way to the jail, Earl began to kick the back of my seat and call me profanities, such as a She seemed irrational and very upset as she was being arrested. Okay. Want me to go on?
No, but that's not...
That's what you did to police officers. That's what you did to police officers.
You said I assaulted a police officer. That was calling him a... That's not assaulting somebody. That's not punching somebody. My God.
She told me that she had been sick all night from crashing on meth high. She went on to say that she was addicted to the drug and was coming down from being awake and under the influence of the drug for approximately 3 days.
True. But that doesn't say I assaulted a police officer, man.
You're absolutely right. It didn't say that you assaulted a police officer. It said you're a rational human being.
Oh,
Okay, I have
sure
absolutely
I
no
was.
evidence. I have absolutely no evidence that you were assaulted by the defendant. What you were suing for is the return of your rent because you paid April's rent, and as of April 8th, you were no longer in the house. And I find that you caused that yourself by assaulting the defendant, so you are not entitled to any rent back for April. Your personal property. Do you have any of her personal properties?
What?
Is not an answer. I expect an answer for
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
All right.
I left what was left out in the back, and she had come by with some friends and picked that up. There's a couple things that are left.
What's
Dead
left?
on arrival?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Who was arrested the night of the 10th?
I went.
For what?
Because they found some of the plaintiff's paraphernalia in the...
Oh, my God. He is my drug dealer.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Pamela Earl says ex-boyfriend Brian Mays beat her up in a fit of rage. Brian claims it was Pamela who beat him up.
Put that down. What's left?
There's a box sitting back there. I don't know what it is.
Fine, but
just-
it's all boxed.
Yes.
Who is this person?
This is a witness that saw what was going on and watched her move the stuff out and take some things of mine.
Does he live next door? Close?
He's my roommate. He was my roommate at the time.
All of our roommates, Your Honor.
Okay. All I want to know is where can she go to pick up her boxes? You want to take it to a local precinct at a set time?
It's right across the street. That'd be fine, Your Honor.
Fine. We'll give you a date.
He's going to have dead on arrival on all my crap,
Miss
Your
Earl,
Honor.
I want you to be very quiet. I'm losing patience with you very slowly. You want your property back. Whatever he has, he is going to bring to the police station 5 days from today's date. You can go and pick it up there. If you're not there 5 days from today's date, they're going to throw it out. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Now, you want to tell me what property you claim she stole from the house, sir?
I have a list of everything.
Oh, my God.
What's a family lanyard?
They're trading pins that me and my children had collected through the years going to Disneyland on our trips.
Your Honor, I only got a pack of cigarettes from the guy. That's the only thing I took.
You see, when you use drugs, you find it hard to control yourself.
That's my... Oh,
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up.
Those are
Mr.
my
Mays,
God
have you been in a drug rehab program?
Yes, I have.
When was the last time you were in rehab?
Early 2002.
For how long?
14 months.
But then you fell off the wagon, Mr. Mays.
Yes, he did.
No, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes,
sure
he
you
did.
Sure you did. You know how I know that you did?
How's that?
Very easy. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't have taken her into your house. Because if you're in a program for 14 months and you want to stay clean, you don't pick up a drug addict in a courthouse and say, come on to my house. That's how I know. You understand each other?
I was trying to help.
I'm not interested in your being a knight in shining armor for this drug addict.
Yes, ma'am.
You may sound better.
You
may sound better than she does, but the drug rehab program didn't work, Mr. Mays. Did you see her take any property from the house? Look at me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your name.
John River. Sorry.
You ever in drug rehab?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
When did you leave for the last time?
3 years ago, Your Honor.
Tell me about what you saw Miss Earl take from Mr. Mays' home.
She came in approximately 9 or so at night when Mr. Mays was
What date?
still incarcerated. I think that was the 12th.
What was he arrested for?
It was part of the domestic violence. So I
Who was
proceeded-
arrested the night of the 10th?
I was.
Yes, he was.
For what?
Because they found some of the plaintiff's paraphernalia in the
Oh, my God. He is my
They
drug
found- they
dealer,
found
Your
what?
Honor.
paraphernalia.
And so they took you away?
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
Go ahead.
So when I came home that morning, house was in disarray. Saw a domestic violence pamphlet, so I proceeded to call the police station. Found out that Mr. Mays was incarcerated. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, her boys showed up. I allowed them to take their property, their bikes, their father. About 9 o'clock at night, she showed up, and I let her take what I thought was hers. There was a brown folder that I believe had stamps in it. The Disney pins that were around the necklace, I did see those.
You did?
Yes.
Where did you see those?
They were hanging in the kid's room.
Did you have children living with you?
No, I do not.
What's a Gerber knife?
It's just a utility knife, like a...
What's a green bottle?
It's something that we picked up when we were in Vegas.
Mr. Mays.
Yes, ma'am.
This is nonsense. This is nonsense, Mr. Mays. We're not talking about anything. We're talking about a Smith & Wesson knife.
That was given to me by my brother in 1981. It was inscribed at Christmas.
So what do you want from me? You think she still has it? If she took it, you think she still has it? You think she knows where it is? You think she knows where it is? Mr. Mays, you should have been smart enough after being out of rehab for a few months and having been there 14 months not to pick somebody up who was a drug addict in a courthouse and bring him into your home. That was pretty dumb. You're lucky that all she took were a couple of pairs of sunglasses and a couple of kitchen knives. That's all. Your counterclaim is dismissed. As far as your claim is concerned, Ms. Earl,
Yes, ma'am.
I have absolutely no proof that he assaulted you. I have absolutely no proof that he owes you any rent. You chose to leave that day. You fled. You were high on drugs. You acknowledged that you took out $2,500 from the bank to go out and buy $1,000 worth of drugs, leaving your children home unsupervised because, according to you, they came home at some point that evening and you were dead to the world. I have absolutely no sympathy for you. All I can suggest to you is you have a responsibility. If you make 2 children, you're supposed to be a reasonable parent. Stop worrying about the past. Stop worrying about a couple of dollars that you paid and didn't use in rent. Start worrying about being a reasonable parent. And you, sir?
Ma'am,
The fact
even though
that
he
you-
witnessed her take the stuff, it's
Oh,
worth
no, he
nothing.
didn't. But listen to me. He said he saw her take a folder that he assumed had stamps in it. That's what he said. He said he saw her take a lanyard that was in the boy's room.
April 16th, 1935. Renton, Washington. The sun is low, cutting through the fog over Lake Washington. You can almost hear the hum of the factory floor, hammers clanging, rivets popping, engines coughing to life. Somewhere deep inside the Boeing plant, a prototype bomber sits on the tarmac, wings gleaming with promise and trembling with danger. Captain Harold Hal Bricker, test pilot, climbs into the cockpit, leather gloves tight against the cold metal. His boots echo on the riveted floor. "Let's see what you've got, girl," he mutters. The engines roar, vibration thrumming through his chest. The B-17, still just a concept, lurches down the runway, and you can almost feel the aircraft shudder under its own weight. At 500 feet, the wings wobble unnaturally. A gust of wind pushes the tail. Bricker's knuckles whiten on the yoke. He fights to keep the bomber level. Every bolt, every seam seems to scream. This was supposed to be America's next great heavy bomber, but right now, it feels like a coffin with wings. Inside the design room, Eddie Allen, Boeing's lead engineer, grips a clipboard so tightly the paper crinkles. His mind races. He's seen the test reports, the crash simulations, the tailspin incidents. Every number points to the same terrifying conclusion. The B-17 is unstable. It won't hold in tight turns. The fuselage flexes too much, and the nose gunner's position, exposed and vulnerable. Yet Allen doesn't panic. Something about the way the plane moves, the vibrations, the patterns of failure, it speaks to him. Not as a disaster, but as a problem with a solution waiting to be found. He sketches furiously. Tail modifications, reinforcement angles, aerodynamic tweaks. Each line feels like a lifeline thrown into a storm. Back on the tarmac, Bricker lands hard. Gravel sprays. Mechanics run, checking every strut, every rivet. The B-17 wobbles on its landing gear, and you can almost hear the collective sigh of tension from the crew. Everyone knows the stakes. If this plane fails, it has not just a prototype, it has a lost chance to dominate the skies over Europe in the coming war. Allen steps forward, calm in the chaos. "We're not scrapping her," he says. His voice carries over the din. "We're fixing her." And in that moment, the impossible begins. But the question looms. How do you take a lumbering, twitchy, almost lethal aircraft and turn it into a legend? The answer will come from one man's gamble, a small change with enormous consequences. Inside Boeing's dimly lit design room, Eddie Allen leans over the blueprint table, smoke curling from his forgotten cigarette. Paper and pencil in hand, he doesn't see numbers. He sees movement, force, flight. Each line, each measurement represents a heartbeat, a moment in the sky where life and death hang on the thin edge of metal. The B-17's tail wobbles, the fuselage flexes, and the nose feels like it might tear itself apart under the recoil of its own guns. Conventional fixes have failed. Engineers talk about scrapping it, redesigning from scratch, but Allen refuses. He doesn't just see a failing bomber, he sees a fortress in waiting. He sketches a subtle reshaping of the tail, adjusting the vertical stabilizer's sweep and adding reinforcement ribs. Small, almost imperceptible changes on paper, but Allen knows this is where stability will be born. He jabs at the drawing. "It's not the wings," he mutters. "It's the tail that will decide if she flies straight or dies midair." Then there's the nose gunner, a position so exposed it's almost suicidal in combat. Allen studies the cockpit mock-up, tracing the arcs of the machine guns. He adds extra structural bracing, reshapes the framing. Every line he draws is a lifeline for the men who will soon climb aboard, hundreds of miles from home, bullets and flak screaming around them. By mid-afternoon, the factory hums with a different tension. Mechanics whisper about the Allen plan, skeptical but curious. There's no room for trial and error here. The prototype can't be destroyed. Yet, the gamble is too tempting to ignore. Allen orders the modifications to be implemented immediately. Tail plates cut, reinforcements welded, rivets hammered into place like ceremonial stakes in a tent of destiny. Test flights begin again. You can almost feel the electricity on the tarmac, charged by anticipation and fear. Bricker climbs in once more. Sweat beads on his forehead, gloved hands gripping the yoke as the engines roar like beasts waking from hibernation. This time, as the B-17 lifts into the air, something miraculous happens. The tail, now stronger, resists the tremors. The fuselage doesn't flex like a reed in the wind. The plane holds steady, obedient to the pilot's commands. Bricker's eyes widen. He banks the plane sharply. No wobble. He pushes the throttle, simulating evasive maneuvers. The bomber responds, solid, resilient, commanding. Allen watches from the ground, a slow smile spreading. One man's insight, one engineering gamble, has transformed this metal beast from a death trap into something extraordinary. A seed of legend is planted, but the skies over Europe are ruthless. A stable plane on a calm test flight is one thing. A fully loaded bomber facing flak and fighter attacks is another. The question now, can Allen's changes hold under the fury of real combat? August 17, 1941. Somewhere over the Atlantic, 22,000 feet above the cold, gray waters, the first combat-ready B-17 takes flight. You can almost feel the biting wind seeping through the thin metal skin, the engines droning a relentless mechanical hymn. Inside, the crew huddles in layers of canvas and leather, guns trained forward, hearts pounding. Lieutenant James "Jimmy" Caldwell, the bombardier, scans the horizon through his plexiglass nose. He's seen sketches and test flights, but nothing prepares a man for the reality of combat. Each rivet, each seam of this plane, the work of Eddie Allen, is now a lifeline, a fragile promise that they will all make it home. Enemy fighters appear like shadows on the clouds. The first German Messerschmitts dive, guns blazing. You can almost hear the rattle of machine gun fire, the ping of bullets against the B-17's skin. The crew braces. Fear is sharp, immediate, a living thing curling through the fuselage. But the B-17 responds. The reinforced tail holds firm, resisting spins that would have doomed the original prototype. The nose bracing keeps the bombardier alive, the machine guns firing steadily, sending enemy planes spiraling away in smoke. One after another, the attacks come. Yet the bomber stays in formation, obedient, almost alive, a fortress in the sky. Allen's gamble is vindicated, but not without cost. Flak tears at the wings, engines sputter under near-miss explosions, and yet the B-17 flies on, carrying its crew home. When they finally land, soaked with sweat and grime, the word spreads quickly through the Air Corps. These bombers are no longer fragile prototypes. They are shields of steel, guardians of the men inside. Across the continent, in briefing rooms and design labs, Allen studies the reports. Pilots praise the stability, the resilience, the uncanny ability to keep flying when everything else fails. The nickname begins to stick, Flying Fortress. It's a title earned not through propaganda, but through survival, through engineering genius, through sheer nerve and faith in a single man's vision. Yet every triumph hides a tension. The European skies are about to erupt into full-scale war. The Luftwaffe is skilled, deadly, and relentless. One bomber, no matter how well built, will face horrors no test flight can simulate. Allen knows the stakes. Design alone will not win the air war. But he also knows something else. He's given the men a fighting chance, a machine capable of defying the odds. And in that realization lies the secret of the Flying Fortress. It wasn't just metal and rivets. It was trust, bravery, and one engineer daring to gamble against impossibility. But even legends face tests beyond design. The B-17's true trial is yet to come over the burning cities of Europe, under fire from flak, fighters, and fate itself. Will the Flying Fortress prove indestructible, or will it meet the limits of even the finest engineering? November 12, 1942. Dawn breaks over the frozen plains of northern France. You could almost feel the icy gust biting through the cramped fuselage of the B-17 as it climbs to 25,000 feet. Engines screaming, flaps trembling under the weight of bombs and fuel. This isn't a test flight anymore. It's war. Captain Robert "Bob" Henderson peers out from the cockpit, scanning for enemy fighters. His crew, tight and silent, grips their positions. The nose gunner checks his machine guns. The tail gunner tightens his harness. And somewhere in the middle, the radio operator sweats, fingers hovering over the controls. Every detail matters. Every modification Eddie Allen made in Renton months earlier is being tested in fire and ice. The first German flak bursts through the clouds like jagged lightning. Explosions rattle the fuselage. Metal screams under the shock waves. Pilots trained in evasive maneuvers rely on instinct and on a bomber that refuses to buckle. The reinforced tail resists spins. The fuselage stays true to the pilot's inputs, and the nose bracing protects the bombardier from the worst of the shrapnel. Allen's impossible changes are the thin line between life and death. Enemy fighters swarm next, Messerschmitts diving like wolves. Bullets tear through the sky, puncturing engines and wings. Crew members duck and fire, adrenaline making seconds stretch like hours. And yet the B-17 flies on, heavy but unbroken, steady as a cathedral in flight. Time after time, missions that would have doomed earlier models are completed successfully. Bombs are dropped on targets deep in enemy territory. Missions that could decide battles are executed with precision. Across the European theater, airmen whisper the same phrase, Flying Fortress. It isn't just a name, it's a symbol of hope, resilience, and sheer audacity. For every B-17 that returns battered but alive, Allen's gamble in Renton is vindicated. The bomber doesn't just survive, it dominates the skies, turning the impossible into routine heroism. Allen himself watches the reports from across the ocean. He reads first-hand accounts of gunners saved from death, pilots who banked sharply without fear of losing control, bombardiers who hit their targets because their noses didn't collapse under pressure. One man's small decision reshaping a tail, reinforcing a nose, has altered the course of the air war. Yet even triumph carries a shadow. Each mission leaves scars, planes damaged beyond repair, crews injured or killed, and the constant knowledge that every flight could be your last. The B-17 may be legendary, but it is not invincible. In the chaos of the skies over Europe, luck, bravery, and steel must work together, and sometimes that isn't enough. And so the Flying Fortress continues to climb, a testament to one engineer's vision, a symbol of American resolve, and a harbinger of destruction for those who challenge it. But the ultimate question remains, can even this marvel withstand the most brutal air campaigns yet to come? June 6, 1944, Normandy. The skies are alive with thunder, smoke, and the roar of hundreds of Allied aircraft. You can almost feel the vibration of every engine, the tense anticipation in every cockpit. Overhead, the Flying Fortresses glide like steel giants, carrying bombs that will help shape the course of history. Eddie Allen is far from the front lines, but his presence is felt in every rivet, every reinforced plate, every trembling wing. What began as a gamble in a Renton factory has become a cornerstone of the Allied air campaign. The B-17 is no longer a prototype. It is a symbol, a tool, and a lifeline. Veteran pilots tell stories in hushed tones of bombers returning battered but intact, of crews surviving attacks that would have been fatal in older designs. They speak of the tail that refuses to spin, the nose that shields its occupant, the wings that hold steady through flak and fighter fire. Allen's changes have done more than save planes. They have saved lives, forged confidence, and built legends. Historians later call the B-17 the bomber that won the air war. But for those who flew her, it was more than strategy. It was a fortress in the sky, a guardian, a promise that they might see another sunrise. Allen's work reminds us that genius often lives in the details, in the quiet decisions, in the courage to try what others call impossible. By the end of the war, over 12,000 B-17s had been built, flying thousands of missions, leaving trails of courage and destruction across Europe and the Pacific. And though the war would end, the legend would live on, not just in history books, but in the hearts of those who understood what it meant to trust a machine, a man, and a vision. Eddie Allen returned to his workshop, unassuming, calm, almost forgotten by the public. Yet the men who lived because of his work never forgot. Each B-17 that soared, Each bomb that found its mark, each crew that returned safely, that was his triumph. One engineer, one impossible fix, had turned a shaky prototype into a flying fortress. And so the story lingers in the clouds, in the roar of engines, in the echo of bravery. Sometimes a single gamble, made quietly in a factory, can change the world.